Dr. Hart, we're live.
We're live, Philip Von Tentacle Wobbler.
Yeah, well, that's one of my aliases.
Oh,
That was my
okay.
subway name.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Von Tentacle. I like that German royalty octopus. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that was a long time ago. Okay, so who do we got in the house here? Ruben M. What's happening? Uh, let's just jump right into a question. It's
Yeah,
it's,
we got a half dozen questions already.
it's Twisty Bananas. Come over here, Twisty. Okay.
I thought
Yeah,
she was
she
twisted.
is. Look, in the flesh. All right. Shush, woman. Shush. Before I said something to her, and she turned around, she gave me the finger like that. Yes,
No, I lifted my hand up.
and one finger was prominently displayed over the other.
I don't do that. First of all,
Bye.
I don't do that. It's not in my forte. So no, I did not give you the finger.
So, um, quick question: will MapGas take a thin coat of paint off? Yes, it will. Go for it. MapGas works great for that. Steve Johnson, what's happening? Works great. Takes gaskets off too. People are scrape. Screw that. Get the MapGas torch and just turn into ashes. Steve Johnson, the thumbnail in the 12-second build B body reminds me of an old article I still have on the engine of the Sox Martin 600. Yes, well that was my project 1299 for 1299 from Cars Illustrated magazine. But hello, Steve Johnson, Mr. Saltwater. How are you, my brother? Waited monthly for updates on the 12-second Roadrunner and the 1099 for 1099 Dart. Thanks to my memories. Oh, thank you for remembering that stuff, man.
I think you should go back to the mustache only.
Go back to the stash only.
Yeah.
That was my Philip Von Tentacle days. Yes.
Yeah.
Bobby Z, what's happening? I said hi to Mark Sauvé. Mexican Spec is in the house. Yes. Buddy Carfano. Joker, what's happening? Hello, Joker. Travis Moore. OJ. Yes. I got my orange juice. Ford LTD, what's happening? KJ Kiley. The Formula. Oh, we got all the Kevin Wenger, there's a new one for
Gritty Grease Garage, Unity Motorsports Grid. What?
Andy. Is Andy in here?
Yeah.
I love Andy. I never see Andy. Andy, I lost your Well, my phone got nuked and I don't have your number anymore. If you have my number, text me, Andy, because I have no way to get a hold of you. I wanted to talk to you like a week ago, just to shoot the shit, and I had no way to get a hold of you. Let's see, Christopher Ruiz. What's happening, Chris? What's up, guys? Saved my 383 and my 78 Big 10 shortly. What's up from San Antonio, Texas? Very good, man. Everything is groovy here. Stab it in there. Stuff it in there, man.
Damn it.
Stab it. Let's see. Hank Hill, thank you for the super chat. I'm in the market for a silver 67 GTX. Unfortunately, you're not going to find an original paint one. That's for damn sure. The silver did not last. There was something in silver from those years and the purple. The plum crazy. The two colors that just disintegrated. There was something in the paint. Unfortunately, Pickens is slim on the internet right now. Do you have any resources to help me find one? I would say just find a GTX in any color you can get one in, and then painted silver.
That was like the silver paint was like crepe paper. It just oof.
Yes, and thank you for the super chat.
Yes, thank you.
Formula 350 says I would look like a creep instead of a fisherman if he only had a. I look like a fisherman. I usually get Tommy Chong. Everybody's like, "Oh, he looks like Tommy Chong." I never got that resemblance, but who does Dr. Art look like? I know you look like somebody, Dr. Art.
Well, if you guess too much, I may have to change my name again. So we should just leave it alone.
All right, we let that go. Let's see. Dr. Art, Cop Car Steve wants to thank you for helping him get over the hump of 100.
Yeah, he was. I had to do my live yesterday because Monday we had an event. So
Okay.
Tuesday night, and he came on and he only had 98 subscribers. So I'm like, God, we got 2 guys here. So we put Cop Car Steve over 100, his first hurdle of success, and from there it's all downhill.
Awesome. Congratulations, Cop Car Steve.
He has good content. He's got a lot of old police cars and stuff like that, SSP Mustangs. It's a good channel.
Stephen Green. I saw a butchered 74 Dodge Swinger yesterday here in Cebu. I have no idea where Cebu is. It had an Isuzu 4-banger diesel. I'm not even a Chrysler Dodge guy, and it turned my stomach. I don't know the context of. I don't know where Cebu is and what the going. Like, is it like Cuba, where they just mix and match whatever they can to keep stuff on the road? I don't know. Mexican spec is sub to Cop Car Steve. That's all that really counts.
They say you look like the dude on the box of fish sticks. Maybe you should get a yellow slicker.
Wait, I look like the dude, or you look like the dude on the box of fish sticks?
Well, it might be me, yeah, because he's lack of facial hair coloring also. So
Ballast resistance 69. There's a name for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I just saw something a second ago. Oh, Mexican Spec put up the link to Cop Car Steve's channel. If you want to go over there and check it out and sub and help him along on his journey to wherever the hell he's going with it. Over the top, way over the top.
His journey to Hollywood. Help Cop Car Steve get from Canada to Hollywood. Yes.
How much water? He's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to come out of the shadows like where he is right now. And
right.
Eat the
internet. Smash all of us.
It's going to be like there's going to be the bar that all of us have to try to reach for.
I had something miraculous happen over this last week.
Oh.
The first Dragster video I did of kind of like the rear end and stuff like that.
Yeah.
265,000 views.
What?
Yeah, it just went.
Wait a minute. Back up. What happened?
The
Dragster, the
Dragster video, the first one I did about the rear end and all that kind of stuff, and kind of showing everybody everything. It had like 7,000, and then it just has gone through the moon. It's like at 260,000 views.
That's more than all of the views I've gotten on all of the videos I've done on that thing combined. I have to see this. Keep that going. Not that I don't believe you. I just need to see it with my own eyes.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. But yeah, pull it up on your phone. I was like, because it was like yesterday, the day before I put up a post, it was like 230, and it just keeps going. It may be at 300 now.
Let's see. Well, there's my own channel with its own dismal numbers. It's rough.
Go to the playlist, and it's the first one. It's what's wrong with your rear end? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's not showing. Vintage top fuel brake system install. How long ago did you do this video?
It was like a month before that one that I just showed you. Here, I'll pull it up and we'll share the screen on it.
Yeah. You. I'm still not seeing it. Oh, what if I go to videos and I go to popular? Let's see.
Or you go to playlist. Yeah.
Wow. What's all wrong with the rear end of your top fuel dragster?
275,000 views.
Is that your best ever?
Oh, by a state,
That's awesome.
I was like, okay, cool. It just
now, why can't I get even 100,000 views on any of these videos?
I don't know. It was sitting at like 7,000 views, and I was changed it to I click something because I had it change the languages so it would be German and Japanese and stuff like that, and something clicked and it just went.
Wow. Oh, you mean you increased the number of languages it was available in?
Yeah.
And it took off.
For whatever reason, it just went.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
It never happened. It's never going to happen again.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You never know.
Yeah.
Mexican Spec wants to, is that a good paycheck?
You
can make some money with that one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you got about a $10 RPM.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, $2,700, $3,000. Congratulations, brother. That's really nice to see.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm a failure. My parents were right.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. One video out of 300 did well. Yeah.
It's a stepping stone. Remember, the algorithm picks up on the fact that you've had a successful video. So then it takes all the other ones and it starts putting them out. So
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Phil Dodge Fury says, you look like Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine.
He was McHale, was it McHale's Navy?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Shaniqua is saying Dr. Art's going to be too big to talk to us poor schmucks.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go to Dr. Art for some YouTube tips. It's that simple. How do I grow my channel, Dr. Art?
I don't know. Just here, do some things, and then it happens.
Shaniqua says Art needs a sexy shop girl to get them views up. He's got Misty. Is Misty in any of your videos?
She doesn't like to be. She doesn't have the patience to be on the videos like the dogs previous to her. She's too, sit still for a second. I don't know. Yeah.
She's pretty girl. She belongs on there. Resolution. What's happening, brother? I'm installing a transmission cooler on my 2006 Jeep WK. Since the power steering cooler is centered, it looks like I need to mount this bottom front. Is there any issue with that, or is it good? Any place you get it in the airflow is going to be good.
Yeah, any place out front. Yeah.
You might want to consider combining them. Because the power steering cooler is extra. I mean, it's like really, really extra. That's like if you're out rock crawling and constantly going like this with the wheel, you may heat the power steering fluid up enough to perhaps need a cooler. But under like normal circumstances, you're not. So me personally, I think I would probably combine them. I would probably combine them and get yourself the biggest cooler that you can. And I think that would be.
And then French Hawa, right there, that one.
Franz Shover. Further to question. The stock one-hole injector has a splatter-like spray pattern, and people claim a 6-hole injector improves idle but no change in performance. Is a clean injector or a clean injector or better spray pattern?
Well, your stock ones should have a cone.
Yeah,
like a cone spray.
Right.
And your 6-hole is a gimmick.
The 6-hole is going to lead to better atomization, which is going to lead to better vaporization because of where it's pointed. In other words, the 1-hole is going to spray one stream that's going to fan out a little bit, bigger droplets. The multi-hole is going to send the same fuel through many smaller holes, breaking it up into smaller droplets and making more vaporization as it heats the as it meets the hot air of the lower port and the back-facing intake valve. I would say you're going to get better power out of the single, and you're going to get better economy / drivability out of the multi-hole. Would you say that's about right?
Yeah, if it's worth the investment of 6 new injectors to make it idle nice,
Right. But
So
if he's
that's
getting a splatter like spray pattern, that means the injector itself is
yeah, the injector
dirty or
itself
shot.
needs to be cleaned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a nice cone. If you don't have a cone, it's just clogged and dirty. You just send them out to get cleaned, or if 6 holes aren't any more of the price of a new one, try them. Just make sure they're the same pound per hour rating as the ones you're replacing stock. Otherwise, it'll throw everything off.
Resolution is saying, unfortunately, there's not enough room between the power steering cooler and the AC condenser. I'm trying to picture it. I don't know. You could, and I've done this in the past too. You could mount the transmission cooler under the vehicle, because you've got especially on a Jeep with a high ground clearance, you've got a lot of airflow under the bottom of just about any vehicle, like highway speed, that type of thing. So you might want to just mount it, find a very secure place where it's not going to be where it can't get hit by any obstacles, let's say. So perhaps above a cross member, just in an area where it's protected, kind of in the same way fuel lines would be protected, and mount it under the car. You'll shorten the distance, the potential for leaks, the complication of it all, and you'll get airflow underneath there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've done it. In fact, I've done it on several cars. It's like my preferred method of mounting a transmission cooler, especially when you want the car to look original. You don't want to be running extra lines and all kinds of crazy stuff. Mount it under the car. Be creative. Think ahead. Things that might hit, and mount it that way.
Mm-hmm. Robert Rio wants to know, how soon till we see lives with AI Tony and Art?
How do you know you're not?
That's right. You think real people look like this?
How do you know that you're not? Cop Car Steve, who refers to me as Reverend Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Want to say, I enjoyed your video on AI slop. I refuse to watch that garbage. But how many millions of people do, right?
They're like, I've seen this, and they don't understand that, no, it's not real.
It's how many people just don't care. They just don't care, and a lot of times and I found I'm guilty of it myself, right? There'll be an extraordinary statement made at the beginning of the video, right? And I'll end up sitting there for several minutes waiting for them to get to the extraordinary thing that's talked about in the thumbnail, and they never do. So I caught on after a while, and it's like I ignore them now. But they'll get view duration that way too. So yeah, I know you and me may not watch them, but people still gonna click.
Yeah. And right up in the middle there. Oh, yeah, one above that when you're done with that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's funny fact. I remember it's a $12.99 for $12.99. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, that picture on the thumb, Kathy picked the thumbnail pictures, and that was a magazine project card that we did back in 1987 for Cars Illustrated, which was $12.99 for $12.99. So we took a 1970 Roadrunner 3.3 4-speed, and the total investment in the car, including the purchase price of the car, was $1,299, and the goal was to run a $12.99 ET. And I think I ran like a 13.18 or something like that. It was like really close when it decided to chuck rods, which was just it's what you're gonna do. It's just part of the game. So, but as far as I'm concerned, and as far as like most of the people who read decades before videos, considered it to be a success. We got a lot of people remember that particular story. That's what I looked like when I was 25. Hi. Pig Gavzak.
Yeah. Pagavaskak.
Is that the name your folks gave you? Is that your birth name?
Yeah.
Okay. Restored 69 Scarlet 352 rally after 35 years of sitting it. It's running well, thanks to you, Walt. You're welcome. TA Performance started casting on their stage 1 4L intake again and is available. Big horsepower upgrade or no? I don't know. I don't know. You know who does know? Sweaty fat guy. He lives Pontiacs. He sweats Pontiac. It's
Well,
crazy.
that's a Buick.
He should go be a doctor, honestly. But yeah. Oh, it's a Buick. It's a Buick.
Yeah, it's Buick Skylark.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he'd be, torque. Think Buick torque.
Get a hold of my old friend. You can find him on Facebook. Scotty Guadagno. PG Performance. He's a Buick guy. He used to do a lot of the R&D for Kenny Bell. In fact, I used to go with him when he used to get Kenny Bell stuff and test it out street racing with his deuce and a quarter. He would know the ins and outs of those bits and pieces.
And if anything, it'd be cool to have that TA Performance intake because it's a nice looking piece, and you got plenty of room under the hood. Yeah.
Find it, fix it. Do you know anybody who ever owned a Z16? Not offhand, no. You, Dr. Art?
I don't know what that is. So.
Oh, Chanel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're lost. Robert Hill. Oh, is that the infamous Bobby Hill? The Bobby Hill. What's happening, man? And then after Tony blew up $12.99 for $12.99, it laid in the swamp behind Englishtown forever, which was probably a good place for that car to be. It was rotted to the core, you know.
Oh, you just chucked the rods out of it and walked home, or what'd you
do? Time capsule clips. So, Tony, on your AI slot video, would you say people who film videos doing hands-on wrenching building, not necessarily how-to, still have a chance on YouTube for some time? It depends on your personality. I'm telling you, it's all going to come down to personality. There are some people who are very mediocre as far as their hands-on skills, but they have exceptional personality, and some of them are just freak shows, and people will watch because they're a freak show.
You got to have a gimmick. You got to have some
kind of gimmick. You have to have some aspect of you, your personality, your gimmick, your shtick, whatever it happens to be. Then yes, you can compete, because that's the one thing AI can't compete and probably never will be able to compete against, and that's true personality, and especially the characters. So yeah,
and a glorious mustache would help you too.
Make a glorious mustache, exactly.
Got to have something, yeah.
Yes, Robert Rio, 65 Chevelle 396.
Yeah.
Thunderbird, is it a sin to plug weld new floor pans? Not according to the New Testament, but I think in the old one there was something about a prohibition about plug welding floor pans. It was like there was the thing about pork. Oh yeah.
Caligula and plug welding.
Yeah, but I think that's all been changed now. So
you're safe.
You're safe.
Yeah.
Bobby, freak show like Dead Dodge Jamie. Dead Dodge Jamie, he's got so much personality. Yes, he's
got a personality, and he's got his same shtick that he sticks with.
Yep, personality, shtick. Yeah, it's a good sense of humor. He's got his own cult of personality going. He'll do fine. Mm-hmm. And if the AI, I will go kick the AI's ass if it goes after my little buddy Jamie.
Oh, Olive is here.
Olive, what's happening, hon? How are you? Thunderbird 68 has a glorious mustache. Nice. Shannon says he's screwed with YouTube. Why? Because no, you're not. No, you're not.
No. you got, you don't look like everybody else. You just work on being comfortable and being a little bit more just who gives a shit when you make your videos and relax.
Personality doesn't necessarily mean something flamboyant. Personality could just be something very, very genuine. You know what I'm saying? Which is something, again, right? The AI can't provide. They can't provide genuineness, but a person can. So it's all about whatever the prominent aspect of your personality is. Go with it. That's you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making fun of you or anything like that, but if you're the sensitive type that cries at a perfect weld, right? Well, then go ahead. Just cut loose. You know what I mean?
Let's do it. Yeah, let it fly. Put your flag up.
Your personality. And does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Olive is saying arthritis has been pretty rough, but maybe improving. I don't know where you are, Olive, but around here the last week has been brutal with arthritis and because of the weather. We've had storms and all kinds of crazy, like barometric pressure
changes and things.
And all my arthritis, everything I've ever broken has been bothering me for the last week or so. Okay, let's see. Isaac Paulson, I can dance. I can't sing. Only thing about me is the way I walk. Wow. Go for it. You can dance if you want to. Yeah, actually, a lot of people don't know, but Kathy Bananas, also known as Twisty, was the safety dance girl. And if you remember that video, that was her. Let's see. Shannon, perfect weld. What's that? You should see my hood. Well, then cry at the bad welds. It's like whatever it happens to me, man.
Yeah. Make your fortune rating grinders. This one made my boogers look beautiful.
Let's see. Fun with cars. That's a song. Yes.
Mm.
Fun with cars had migraines last week. Yeah, because it messes with the barometric changes mess with your sinuses.
And all this pollen and everything else. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now we have the pollening happening, which is like a Middle Tennessee. It's a valley phenomenon, right? Because we're in a valley over here, so we get the pollening happen next week because everything's blooming right now. It's crazy.
Next week I'll be like,
yeah,
it's horrible.
One year, it was like 2 years ago. I went for a long ride on one of my motorcycles, and I went down to like Lynchburg and then came back, and it was during the pollinating, and like for a day or two, I literally couldn't open my eyes. I just squinted at everything.
And Jamie's here too.
Jamie, speak of the dead Dodge guy, and there he is. What's happening, brother man?
The man that can pressure test an oil pan like no one else.
Has he pressure tested an oil pan?
Oh, recently, yes.
How did he do that?
His bolt came out of his cherry picker.
Oh, I thought you meant he pressure tested.
No, well, yeah, he did. He's seen how much engine an oil pan can hold up.
Good, because I've never welded an oil pan that I didn't have to weld 3 times and then fill with JB weld.
That's right. They just burn and leak and burn and leak and burn and leak. Yeah.
Resolution. I used to flush my cooling system. What is the best way to get all of the water out before I fill it? There are going to be plugs on the side of your block. Well, okay. I don't know what you're working with. Generally speaking, on the vast majority of cars, someplace on the side of the block or both sides of the block to the engine, you're going to see a plug. It's going to be a pipe thread plug. Take that out, and that'll drain the water jackets. Because you can't drain the water jackets. You can't drain anything below the level of the water pump by draining the radiator. Everything stays in the engine. So if you're going to drain the radiator and you're looking for a complete flush, find those drain plugs in the block and remove them. And if it's a keeper, if it's something that you're going to work on, this is your forever car. Don't put the pipe plugs back in. Get petcocks, the kind of petcock they'll put in the bottom of a metal radiator. You can still get them, and install those instead. So this way, next time you want to do it, 2 to 3 years down the road, you just open the petcock and let it go. And if you've got a race car, so a lot of tracks, so none of the sanctioning bodies allow you to use antifreeze on a drag strip. Technically, you can't take your street car and drive it to the drag strip and make passes with it because it's against the rules. There's supposed to be only pure water. Of course, nobody pays attention to that. But if you happen to be running a faster car that runs antifreeze, your street car, and you want to take it to the track, and it may get scrutinized, or for safety's sake, you want to take the antifreeze out and put water in, those drain, the petcocks on the bottom of the block go a long way. You drain the antifreeze out, you save it, you fill it with water. When you're done, you drain the water out, put your antifreeze back in. And the reason for that, if those of you who are curious, antifreeze on a drag strip is to get rid of the slippery. It's actually worse than oil. Oil will get picked up real quick with using oil dry and stuff, but the antifreeze, even with the oil dry, stays slick. It's fine enough that it gets into the upper pores of the rubber surface that's there, and it's forever slick. So that's why they don't want any antifreeze on a drag strip. Okay, I'm done talking. I'm done. I need a cigarette.
There you go. Get your nicotine
going
on. Oh, let's see. Do you guys think self-driving cars are lame and simultaneously horrifying? Yes. And they're testing these driverless Waymos in Nashville.
What are they doing?
These driverless taxi cabs, these Waymos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're testing them in Nashville. I was behind one the other day, and they had one. I thought it was like some kind of military vehicle because it had like all these sensors and things on top and a spinny thing on top. And I'm like, what's this? Oh no, it's just a cab.
I honestly don't see stuff like that having a real future. Because not even because the technology isn't there, but because people they're not gonna allow it. Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, and stuff like that. People who make their living driving are not going to stand by and let these things take over. They'll sabotage them. They'll do all sorts of things to screw them up. I myself would be compelled to ban. I'm not a criminal, and I don't really have any antisocial qualities really anymore, kind of almost, right? But if I was to come across a driverless, drone car like that, and I thought I could get away with it, damn straight I'd take a shot at the damn thing. So yeah, it ain't gonna last. It ain't gonna last.
No, I'll join in some nicotine here.
What do you got there, Dr. Art?
Then
what is that?
Little nicotine patches. There's 6 milligrams of nicotine. It's like smoking 5 cigarettes at once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When did you get into that?
Lately, over the last few months. There, the first one you're like, but then you're like, oh, this is nice.
I wasn't a bad influence on you, was I?
No.
Okay.
I figured, I'm not dead yet. Let's try something else that'll kill me.
I could try that. Maybe I could maybe get a hat made out of that.
A Zen hat?
Yeah.
Just let it soak in, like a hit of acid under the bandana. But
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mexican Spec is saying you can disable a Waymo with the trash can on the hood. Well, there you go. It's like
you just get yourself a ball of yarn for that big spinny thing on top. Their LiDAR and
they do not stand a chance. I'm telling you, they do not stand a chance.
No. I want to see a Waymo on the side of the road up on jack stands with its tires missing, and it's just trying to go somewhere.
Jim, I'm not even gonna read that. Olive would have my huevos. No, I'm not even gonna read that.
No, they're not the worst. The Asians are the worst. Because as an average, Asians have severe nearsightedness. They're like prescriptions like an 11. Where most people that are blind like me it's like a 4. They can't see anything.
I mean, the statistics bear you out, and
Yeah, it's facts. That's all.
Teslas and Dodge Rams are at the top of the accident list. So if you happen to come across an Asian in a Tesla, really
Just
get out of the way. Get out of the way. What did I do?
I don't know.
Hunter Aldridge, what's happening, brother? Are there any bikes in the 1980s you'd recommend getting into? Reliable and cheapish is the name of the game. Oh, lots of them, man.
Like the Yamahas, the V45s and stuff like that. Those were great bikes. And
they are great bikes. But reliable and cheapish, which in my mind is means easy to service. I'm gonna say like any late 70s to early to mid 80s UJM, you can't go wrong. They were perfect motorcycles. Yeah, there's no bad ones. There's no bad ones that I can think of off the top of my head. It's just the kind of bike that's going to suit you best. CB750, you just can't go wrong. Overhead cam CB750 better than the earlier one, overhead valve. But yeah, can't go wrong. XS650, that's another one. Yes. World of Woodchip, 80s Sportsters are kind of difficult. They're hit and miss. Not terrible, but not as good as the UJMs of the era. Now, if you talk about bikes post that, like 1990s into the early 2000s, then yeah, Sportsters, you can't go wrong because they perfected it beginning around 1991. But 80s Sportsters, first part of the 80s were still iron heads. They're leaky, they're a little finicky. Electronics on them are touch and go. And then you get the first year Evos, the 4-speed transmission, a little bit better, but still weird electronics, still climbing out of the quagmire of the AMF era. 1991 and newer Sportsters are bulletproof. They're really fantastic. Mopar Man is saying, I could see some meth head taking one of those nicotine patches and rubbing the powder across their gums and snorting it. Yeah, that would be me. That would be me. Lines of the nicotine patch, absolutely.
Joe K's at the bottom there. That's a good question.
Okay, Tony and Art, 2. If you know, can you elaborate on the concept of rollout in drag racing? Dr. Art?
All I know is about rollout is when I have the little tires on the front of the Ranger. They say I have a better rollout when I have the bigger ones on it.
Rollout is going to...
Go ahead. No,
rollout is going to figure into your reaction time. So rollout is how far from where you stopped to where the beam is broken and the timer is started. So if you have a car that reacts slowly, you want to stage deep, minimal rollout. When you hammer the throttle, that's it instantly breaks the beam, so you get a good reaction time. If the car reacts extremely violently, quickly, you want to back it up a little bit. You want to increase the rollout. More or less, that's what rollout is. The distance your tire has to turn from the point that it stopped in the stage beam to where it breaks the beam and starts the timer. I'm scrolling back up.
Isaac Paulsine said a Zinn commercial just played for those.
Did it really?
Maybe I'll pick up a sponsor. Hey, that'll work. Zinn.
World of Worship. If you know the tribal knowledge, 4-speed Evos are easy to live with. But if the 5-speed wasn't better, they wouldn't have made it. Made when the point was to improve a product. The 5-speed has a better shifter situation. Okay, so the Sportster does not need a 5-speed. They're really happy with the 4-speed. It's a low-end torque motor, and the gear spacing on the 4-speed is adequate. But you can't sell a 4-speed bike to a universe that's used to 5-speed and then 6-speed bikes. So Harley-Davidson had to appease, and they even made a big deal over it because the first generation 5-speed bikes had that big 5-speed on the points cover, right? They made a big deal over it. But the difference is in the main difference, the functional difference is in the shifter, because the 4-speed still has that pull, right? And it's a wonky kind of shifter, right? And then when you get to the 5-speeds, then you got the shift drum, and it's a lot more precise. The earlier ones are sloppy, especially the distance. Like you can upshift, okay, but the shifter will still come way up. They're sloppy. The later 5-speed with the revised shifter makes a big difference in the feel of the bike.
Mopar Man 1978. That's a good topic we can go down a rabbit hole on.
Wait, let me just do this real quick.
Okay.
And I'll go to Mopar Man.
All right.
Joker is saying, Tony, does that come into play when you say position the car slightly diagonally and starting on? Yes, because what you're doing is you're giving yourself a rolling start, right? The car is actually moving significantly faster than it would be. So if you stage diagonally, the front tire is braking the beam, and the back tire is held back. Now you don't do this for reaction time. You do this if you're going for ET. Like if you want to surprise your buddy and turn a better time than him in his own car, you stage the car slightly sideways. So this way, the front tire holds the beam. Light turns or the tree comes down. When you leave, the timer doesn't start until the back wheel clears the stage beam, which means that you're already moving ahead at 3, 4, 5 miles an hour or better, depending on the car, before the timer even starts. So yeah, it's a good prank. It's a good way to out ET your buddy in his own car. I've made so many enemies like that. Mopar Man, Tony, the Oracle's tech tip about drilling a hole in each side of the piston on the skirt to help stabilize them during stroke. It was an old tech article I stumbled across.
I've not heard of this.
Maybe I have, but so far in the distant past, no, I've never done it. It rings a bell. Maybe there was some famous engine builder who did something like that at some point. I kind of remember seeing 3 holes drilled in a skirt of an older piston. Like it's like a picture that's in my memory. And it's like a black and white picture from like Hot Rod magazine from like 1960s something.
From like an old flathead 10-pound piston.
Yeah, with a really long skirt and like 3 holes drilled in the side of each skirt. But this is a really vague memory of mine. I can't really place it. It only popped in there because of what you said. But no, I don't think there's anything to it. Let's see. Thinking probably, Tony, on the Dragster staging tip, you're talking about, not to sound dumb, but which angle is the best way to pull up? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So to give you an idea, like how far this concept actually goes, purpose-built drag cars, right? So all of your tube chassis cars, have a maximum wheelbase variation side to side of 2 inches. Every single Top Fueler, Funny Car, Pro Mod, Pro Stock, any and all purpose-built drag cars have a 2-inch difference in wheelbase side to side. And that's specifically for that reason, because the car goes quicker when the back wheel holds back. And these cars, you get a rolling start on the timer. And that's been the standard since the 1960s. The 1960s. So what you're doing is with a street car, all you're doing is just using that concept. You can't alter the wheelbase really, although in like class like stock and super stock, people have. But you know, that's not practical. So you just stage the car a little sideways and you get that same running start on the lights. Follow cars. Nitro pistons had skirt buttons. I can't remember. Yes, 3 or 4 buttons, nylotron buttons in the side, and that's because the oil gets diluted off the cylinder walls by the nitro. So then you get aluminum to aluminum or aluminum to steel, metal contact. And because of that, they put the round nylotron buttons in the skirts of the crank, or the skirts of the piston rather, and that's common. That's all nitro pistons, and alcohol pistons are going to have those nylotron buttons. Let's see.
There's a bunch of good questions. Yeah, I was looking at that one too.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
Jonathan Anteri. What's happening, man? I got a 79 T-Bird that came with a 302, but I swapped a 460 in it. What would make it overheat only with the AC on at idle? Suggestions appreciated my daily driver. What would make it overheat only with the AC on? That's significant cooling, man.
Do you have, okay, on your 460, do you have an anti-stall dash pot on the carburetor? Because your 302 probably did. And if you have an idle on your 460 and the AC comes on and it knocks your idle down to, say, 500 RPM, maybe that's not enough RPM for your water pump.
Yeah. Now, only idle with the AC on.
Yeah, because the condenser is in front of the radiator all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
So I'm assuming you upgraded the radiators, not the same 302 radiator. It's got more capacity to compensate for the greater size of the 460. But is it possible the radiator is partially clogged? When you look at it, now if it's a brass radiator, does it have green anywhere? Can you see green when you look at the core? Because if you see green anywhere in that core, those are sections of the radiator that aren't flowing air; they're clogged or flowing coolant.
I mean, unless you just got such a badass AC system and that, you know, that condenser up front is just putting out so much heat. But
yeah, I don't know. John, be more specific with exactly what you've got. That's a really good question, man. That's a really good question, and I want to.
Yeah, it is.
Side rudder. I realize I know nothing about nitro injected drag engines.
You're better off.
First off, you're better off, yeah. And nitro injection or injected nitro is a whole different animal than blown nitro. Injected nitro is much more difficult to tune, much more difficult to get consistent runs out of. If you want to look at the most impressive cars in all of drag racing, it's going to be the A-Fuel dragsters that they currently run in top alcohol. To keep so where I left off with my knowledge of injected nitro, because it's something I had looked to play around with and I studied a bit. Injected nitro cars want to drop cylinders and I never pick them back up again. So what they were doing with the injected nitro cars was bringing the fuel system in and out as the car went down the track. And this was evident, like if you watched them at night, if you watched an injected nitro car run at night, you see the header flames go like this through the course of the run, okay? And the reason they were doing that was they would pour the fuel on, and before the engine had a chance to drop cylinders, they take the fuel away, and because of lean condition, all of the combustion chambers get really hot all of a sudden, and they blow another load of nitro in it. And then before it could drop a cylinder, they take it away, and then they blow another load in it. And that's to get that timing right, to get the fuel distribution right, to get the clutch to work with all of that. Oh, those guys are wizards. They're much smarter than I am, I'll tell you that. And FUBAR put up the link to my merch, these shirts, these hats, and other things we may or may not have in the store. But there it is. And if you want to support, represent the UTG nation out there, and you're not afraid of people throwing shit at you, then there you go. That's where you buy this stuff. Dr. Art also has merch.
Yes, and they put up a link to my channel. FUBAR did also. You can go there and you can find merch and many other wonderful things.
Yes.
And you can go watch many, 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 many videos while you're there.
And if now that he's had a 275,000 view video, that's a whole new level. That's unlocked. You know what I mean? Like
it does seem ridiculous. Yeah.
Tony, will you run some nitro in your Sporty? Oh, I did that already. Is Kathy Bananas? No, Twisty Bananas. Hang on, let me call her. There you go. Hey, hello? Hey, 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 do you remember that picture of the bike I built, the drag bike? Where is that? Oh, I see you're fine. I'm live right now. Okay, bye. All right. She'll find a picture.
Oh, okay.
PG-13, the Bill Hound Show. Have you ever cooked hot dogs over a nitro flame? I cooked everything over nitro flames. When I had the nitro sickness, I was constant nitro all the time. I ran my lawnmower on nitro. That was. Do you remember when you used to run the lawnmower on nitro? It was nutty. Okay, I had a hardcore tune-up on this thing, and here's my witness. Here's my witness. Okay, so in order to mow my lawn, okay, I had to start this thing like a fuel car. You need to give it a gasoline prime, okay, and then start off the gasoline and then get the nitro trickling into it. Turn it on max, okay, hit it, run into the grass, and then run across. And when you got to the other side, you had to shut the thing off and let it cool off, so you could turn around and make another lap. This is how I mowed my lawn when I lived in New York City. I used a car. My lawnmower used to set off car alarms. Do you remember the car alarms?
Yes.
When I would mow my lawn, right, the neighbors would come and get their kids and bring their kids in the house. The whole neighborhood would be covered with this green dust because I didn't just mulch the grass. I turned it
eviscerated
form entirely. And here's my witness. So I'm making any of this stuff up. If I'm lying,
I don't. You got to think. Kathy has witnessed all your nonsense.
She's witnessed a lot of stuff. Yeah. So somebody asked about the nitro in a Sportster. I've already done that. That was when I first moved here was that New York still? No, I was here in Tennessee.
No, that was New York.
Is that New York?
No, I can't tell.
I can't either.
That looks like New York.
It does look like New York.
It was in New York that you had that. These are very.
No, that's here because there's the engine hoist that I still have.
That's here?
Yeah, that's here. Yes. Okay, yeah. So I've already done that. Oh, the 67 current?
Yeah, I found these. I don't know who these people are.
All right, but wait, not here.
Yeah, I know. What is that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Stormin, that's the original, the one and only Stormin Norman Hectorf and my dog Spike. The one I eagle.
My dog Spike.
Every Nitro racer in the New York area had scars on their back of their ankles from that dog. I don't know. We had so many of them. This is a random Dodge Challenger I don't remember owning.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, Tom.
Okay.
Are you good now?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Girls, come on. Come on.
Yeah, it's been a really weird ride to get to where I am today. I'm not even really sure I survived, to tell you the truth.
You might have died back in '79, and
I might well have. I might be proof of simulation theory.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac Paulson, I've heard that if you pour nitromethane on a concrete floor and hit it with a hammer, it will blow the hammer through the roof. It won't do anything. It won't do anything. Has to be compressed and then some form of ignition. It'll do that if you've missed it with an exciter of some sort. But no, pure nitromethane won't.
On the bottom, Robert Rio, that's a good question. What would that Nitro Harley have ran?
It would have been a low 7-second bike if I had actually pursued it. So what happened was when I moved to Tennessee, I had already quit drag racing like cold turkey a few years before that. But I went and I helped a couple of people who I had gotten started previously, like back in the 90s, because they asked me, and I was like, all right, I'm away from the sickness enough. I can stick my toes back into it a little bit. So I went and I tuned a couple of different funny cars. We won low ET and top speed of the funny car reunion over at Englishtown. Also put the car in the catch net that same run, but that's another story entirely. So and then there was a top fuel car that I got involved with, just not to go hit the road or anything, but just to help. And I says, well, you know what? Maybe I want my own car again. And then I started having all the flashbacks. And I says, I bet you 2 wheels and 2 cylinders would be a lot easier to maintain and deal with than 4. So I put that one together. And I did a few chirpies in the driveway with it. And I was like, you just not know. And I ended up getting rid of it. But I did build it, and it ran, it functioned. I just never pursued it. I'm just scrolling back up. Do you see anything, Dr. Art?
Yeah, fun with cars in the bottom. Not true, but if you pour stale nitro alcohol combo onto the pavement at night and light it, it smells awesome and
yes,
are cool.
That is true. That is true. So yeah, when I had the nitro sickness, I used it as lighter fluid. I used it, for barbecues and stuff like that. I use it for everything. I legitimately had a sickness. It was a problem, which is why I had to get away from it. And I try to explain that to people, and I don't understand. An addiction is an addiction, and some people get addicted to pills, and some people get addicted to whatever. And I got addicted to nitro, and I got addicted to the stress that came with that world. You know what I mean? And it was a bad trip. I mean, I'm just saying it like it is. Some people handle those things well, and some people go off the deep end. I went off the deep end. Midwest Mikey, what transmission would you choose for mild 400 in a Duster? 3, 4, 5-speed. I've got all three, but the 727 is the only one that'll bolt up easy. And see, I'm the kind of guy that does everything. If it bolts up easy, yes, this is the happy thing to do. I don't know what 4 and 5-speed transmissions you have. My vote would be for the 727. Your feelings on that, Dr. Art?
If it's simple and it bolts up, your life will be good.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you struggle with it, you put a 4 or 5-speed in and it's never worked, it doesn't work right, you'll just hate the freaking car and you'll burn it and throw it away. You put in that 727, it's just going to shift and go. Yeah.
The Bill Hound Show. Did you ever marinate the meat in nitro? No, but I always did keep a little vial of nitro like close to my like on a couch or right someplace within range. So if I'm watching TV or something like that, and I need a quick dose, just pop the top off and
huff a little nitro and yeah.
You guys don't understand, and I'm trying to be like as honest with you as possible. I had a problem. I had a real problem, and I had to get away from it. So, and I did, and I look, I'm normal. So, Mark Survey, has anyone seen Clay Milliken and his crew all taste nitro? It's got a bite. Nitro is not a good tasting liquid. It has a bite. It's like the opposite of antifreeze. Antifreeze is all sweet.
Sweet, yeah.
Make a candy or a soft drink that tastes like antifreeze. Nitro is the exact opposite of that. I'm scrolling back up here. Mopal Man says lighting a flaming bag of door crap by someone's front door is as fun as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Hound, I kind of wish we could see you in the throes of your nitro addiction. You wouldn't have liked me. You would not have liked me. I wasn't the same person I am now. I mean, I at my core, yes, but you wouldn't have liked me. Big Jake, I got to see Clay Milliken and Don Garlis last weekend at the Gator Nationals. I heard they got a really good crowd, which was impressive because, generally speaking, they're hurting for car count, they're hurting for spectators. But from what I understand, they had a solid crowd and full fields at the Gator Nationals. So somebody's doing something right. David Kaitola, do you think the speed of nitro cars is getting out of hand? Yeah, and I thought that back when I was doing it too. I think the speeds of everything have gotten out of hand in drag racing. Everything to be dialed back a little bit. What was that, Dr.?
Go up a couple from that one.
Which one?
I
see it.
Yeah.
Okay, Lucas Ivy, 16-year-old daughter building her first car. Very nice. 65 Skylark hardtop, small block Chevy. During flat tappet break-in, tranny blew fluid and we had to restart break-in procedure. 2, thoughts on identifying break-in success or failure. Okay, if you started the break-in, so and this happens. This happens. It's not. Sometimes it'll excuse me, it'll spew antifreeze or things like that will happen, and you'll have to shut it down during the break-in period. As long as you restarted it immediately and immediately went back to that 2,000 or so RPM break-in, it's okay. Generally speaking, you're going to be okay. Did it start relatively quickly the first time? After you shut it off, you shut it off clean, you fixed the problem, and you restarted it and immediately went back to that RPM, you should be fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Bowtie Classics. What you think the chances of Google, YouTube own the AI computers that are creating all these slop channels might let them end up paying real humans less money? Just a thought.
It would cost them less to have somebody do it than to have a whole team of people grading these AI videos on the payroll and everything, and it would just they get like a million videos an hour get loaded up to YouTube or some nonsense. Yeah, they don't. They got all the material they need to make ads and money, and
there's no shortage of enterprising people looking for out there that'll create these videos.
I mean, I could be wrong. That's just my thoughts. That's why have an internal team when you have free minions all over the world doing it.
Jason Matthew, can I convert my 01 Sports to 1200 points? 01, yes. I gave up on my D150 440 points conversion as I can't find a distributor shaft cam. Oh, you'll find one. They're out there. Just keep hunting around. Can you convert your 01 Sportster? Yes, you can convert any pre-2004 Sportster to points. 2004, they changed the side cover, the cam cover. And you can't just retrofit an earlier cam cover because they changed the oil passages. So the 2004 and newer are not conveniently or without major fabrication convertible to points. 2003 back, just unscrew the electronic deal and screw in the weights, the timing weights, and the breaker plate, and you're done. So yes. And you will get the Harley sound, which is something that I got to point out on that video, because I'm doing a points conversion on that 86. People are always like, oh, my shovel head sounded so great. My iron head sounded so great. It wasn't that it was a shovel head or an iron head. It was the ignition system, because those were dual fire ignitions. It fired both plugs at the same time. So you would get one plug fire on the compression stroke as it's supposed to, and the other spark would fire someplace during the other cylinder's exhaust stroke. They had a waste spark situation. So those engines went potato, 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 and you get that signature Harley-Davidson sound. When they went to the single fire ignition, beginning in the 90s and newer, now you get the tato, 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 tato without the pull part. So yeah, that was going to get included in the video that I was going to do. Pick one, Dr. Art.
Oh, there was a bunch here. Let's see.
The fellow with the overheating
T-Bird.
The Ford. I don't remember. I wanted to go back to him, and I don't know if he.
I didn't see it, but didn't mean it didn't happen. So.
Oh man, and I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm failing everybody over here right now. The guy with the 302 swap to the 460. Did you respond telling us like more details on what you had? Are you still even watching?
Yeah.
Are
you here? Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody watch for him, and because I really did want to try to help him answer that question. I was curious myself.
Midwest Mikey, about fourth up from the bottom there, fifth up from the bottom now.
I got a funny story for you guys. I jokingly told my cam guy that maybe it would be cool to try a cam with the LS firing order of my big block. Guess what showed up? Like, no.
The 4.7 swap big block, yeah.
Oh, now you're gonna have to go get a crank ground to match a camshaft, right? And I'm sure it's been done, but that's great. Lucas, he's talking about his break-in with his 16-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Engine had a ping light knock after break-in at idle only. Seems to be going away. Where we didn't have success is oil inspection only cam check.
If you got a flat lobe, you'll hear it, and because it's going to chatter like crazy. Or would it?
I would pop the valve covers and make sure you don't have any play. No loose rockers. Roll the motor over, check them all and roll the motor 360 degrees and then check them again. And if you don't see anything like that, you're probably okay. Now, Jamie is saying the 3.7 swap doesn't require a crank change. And Jamie is right.
I thought it was a 4.7, but 3.7, whatever. Yeah.
I can't really picture it. I'm going to take Jamie's word for it. I'm going to take Jamie's word for it.
It's nice to have Jamie as a backstop, isn't it?
It is. He should be on here with us.
He should be.
Jamie, you want to jump in there? I'll have Kathy Bananas send you a link. Betty Carfano, how many fender take codes do you know in your mind? Really, very few. I was never one of those. Guys. Like the stickler to the paint. The fender tags. I'm sure Jamie knows more of them than I do. Not many. Because in my heart, I'm not a restoration guy. So I really don't care what it says, unless the car's being passed off as original, restored, that type of thing. Then it matters. But yeah, just procrastinating. All right, let me call Kathy Bananas. The hotline. Ringing. Hey, can you send Jamie the link? You have to go in there. You have to come in here? All right, come on in. Bring the puppy. Oh, bring her anyway.
Yeah, we want to see the puppy. Bring the puppy.
Everyone wants to see the puppy. Dr. Art wants to see the puppy.
Yeah, we got to see the puppy.
She's sleeping. She's not going to wake her up.
Oh, okay. If I remember Jimmy's
all right, bye.
Email off the top of my head, it's it's conveniently it's not Jamie - last name @gmail. It's
that's right. She's coming. She'll save the day. Let's see. Let sleeping puppies lie. Yeah, but I want to see my puppy.
That's what it is. Okay.
All right. She's gonna summon Jamie.
All right. Here, move this.
I have to sit out of the way. Dr. Art, you keep everybody busy while she does this.
I got it if you don't want to do it, Kathy.
You can do it? How are you going to do it?
I could forward them what you sent me.
Oh, yeah, then do that.
You're not needed anymore.
Okay, good.
Shoot. Shoot. Chop, chop.
Shoot yourself.
Chop, chop.
Chop your ass.
Joker is saying Steve Manx is good at the things. Yeah. Yeah. Steve's definitely a code guy for sure.
There you go, Jamie. Electronics coming your way over the internet.
758. Thank you, Mexican Spec. Let me roll back up there.
758.
Wait, what was his name again? Jonathan. Okay, it's 758. Jonathan, I am so sorry. I skipped past you, bro. I'm still trying to find it. Oh, let's get Jamie on here. Boom. Good evening, Jamie.
Hey, guys.
Good evening, sir.
I don't have a drink. This feels wrong. Tony, firing order swap. Ford 50 to 50HO. You know, that's all they did. Well, it's not all they did, but that's one of the things they did.
Yeah, but it's a Chevy now.
Well, no, I know, but same. It's the LS trick. That's where they got it. Was from the HO 5-liter. That's exactly what they did, and the 351 too uses that same swapped order. But the crank, you know, they didn't do. They just changed the firing order with the cam and plug order. Bottom end's all the same.
Wait, now hang on, man, because we got this cooling system. Okay, so Jonathan Terry's got the Edelrock step-up solenoid, which is what you were talking about, Dr. Art.
Yeah.
Okay, and a new aluminum 4-core, thinking of a smaller condenser. No, smaller condenser isn't going to. All the smaller condenser is going to do is concentrate the heat. Is going to raise the heat.
It's going to raise the heat.
In a smaller area. It's not really going to do you very much good. But it only happens at idle. Only at idle. It never happens under any other circumstances. It never
Fan.
Hot or warmer than it should.
Yeah, it's just, and you got new radiators. It's got to be fan. Really.
Not enough fan.
Not enough fan, or maybe not enough fan speed.
Or not enough airflow at idle.
Yeah.
The pulleys that you're using. Is it too large a diameter or water pump pulley, as opposed to, like, did you have to mix and match? Did you use an aftermarket pulley set that perhaps isn't spinning the fan, which is one of my gripes with aftermarket pulley sets.
This is a mechanical fan? Because if it's an electric fan, you know.
Well, a fan or water pump speed. And then Fubar just put up the link to Dead Dodge Garage, Jamie's channel, and you all need to go over there and sub to his channel, because it is the best Mopar channel in all of YouTube, bar none. There's no close second.
You're too kind.
No, but it's true, brother. It's true.
I appreciate
I'm not a
that.
Mopar channel, so it's like I'm out of competition here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Keep seeing motorcycle videos and all this other. Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed that video today, because you're like, oh, I should have cut it here, and I cut it here, and I did the motor, and
dude,
all the follies that went on.
Mm-hmm. It's important, warts and all, dude. I mean, show them the screw ups. It's more important than when you get things right, when you know everything, you know.
It makes you relatable.
Right.
Buddy Corfano, fan shroud missing. I mean, that's a possibility.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of shrouds, but on certain applications, they're necessary.
Yeah. With electric fans, it's so important with electric fans. You always see them just zip strip to the rad, and if there's no shroud, like, actually directing air, it just doesn't work.
I'm just scrolling back up to see if we missed anything.
Bowtie Classics was shocked my 383's oil pickup survived. Not even a dent, dude. I can't believe it.
I'll have to watch that video when we're done here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to throw anybody under the bus, but let's just say I didn't rig up the engine on the engine lift, and I've been using that picker for a decade. I've never dropped any engines with it before. But anyway, I can't. It's my equipment. It's my garbage. So
What bolts come out?
The chain, here at the end of the thing, yeah, we just have a bolt shoved through it, and there's no nut on it, and I don't think there's been a nut on it for a long time. But I went back and reviewed the footage, and somehow the bolt was out and at an angle and just hanging on. Not good, dude. But like I said, I didn't rig it up. I just am the poor guy that was moving it when it fell. So anyway,
at least it didn't fall on your foot. So.
Or Alan's foot. Yeah.
Side rider, could the water flow being so slow to move heat out? Yeah. If because pulley diameter is tuned to the application from the factory. That's why you have different diameter pulleys. It could be that he's using a pulley setup, let's say, for the 302, which could conceivably fit on the 460, but it would be spinning the water pump and or fan, if the fan is attached to it, slower than it should. So that would give you, see, that's the kind of thing that would account for overheating only with the air conditioning on and only at idle. Because now once you're off idle, now
you got enough water flow. Yeah.
I'm still wondering what kind of fan this is. Because you're right. If it's only sitting at a stop or at an idle, it could be water flow, I guess. It just really says inefficient fan to me.
I think the easiest way to do is just raise it 100 RPM and see if it changes.
Yeah. Thumper is going to make videos only of screw ups. Rad.
Mo Bigga. I have so many questions for this guy. I have carburetor questions for the king. He's right there. Go for it.
Me? No.
Well, you're the one who just stepped in here.
I am not the carburetor king. That's funny. No, I've never heard of anyone doing a 3.7 swap on any Mopar, actually. No, I don't think so.
Midwest Mikey, do I think the firing, or maybe do you think the firing order swap will make more power? No. Have heard of anyone doing it to a big block Mopar? No. Was I totally joking around? Yes. Will it have a cool factor? Also, yes.
Yeah.
Didn't they just do that 4.7 swap for more vibration than anything?
No, it's supposed to make power. It changes the by flipping the exhaust pulses for number 3 and number 7. It changes the scavenging in the exhaust. Basically, changes
they were doing stuff like that with Chevys back in the carbureted days. NASCAR, and that was because of the pulses and the intake manifold.
Yep.
It was the 5.7. That's the problem.
Yeah, because they're next to each other in the order and in the manifold, and so it gets all goofy there. So that is the purpose for swapping 3 and 7. And it works. It's known to make power. Ford did it with the 50HO in the 90s, and GM did it with the LS.
But it doesn't ever sound like...
I was going to say that. Sounds wrong.
It always sounds wrong. It's always...
Scoop. How about a carburetor? I'm not big on those either.
Sweaty Fat Guy, his blower engine has a 4.7 swap. The high-end cams all have it now.
Interesting. That thing's cool, by the way. I've seen it.
It is cool.
Yeah. Traction's an issue. Ooh.
I'm scrolling back up here. To see if he jumped back in.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
No. Maybe we scared him away. They're trying too hard to fix my problem. There's something up with that.
There's something wrong here. Yeah. What is the Tech Talk Live?
Yeah, go all the way back down and on top. It just scrolled up. Mo Binga.
Okay.
Mo
Bigga. I got a 350 cammed. And I was told my 750 Holly double pumper is too big. No. So I was told to get a 650 because it will never stop running rich. How true is this?
No.
Not true at all. The 750 is sized pretty much perfectly for the 350.
If it's running rich, you just have too much jet.
Yeah, bigger carb doesn't make it rich. Now, it is totally true that on like a more mild small block, the slightly smaller carburetor might have better bottom end response, whereas the bigger carburetor may have worse bottom end response, but more top end capability. But the change in size does not magically change the fuel mixture. That's not how it works.
Yeah. So, Mobiga, describe the level of richness and where and when the richness happens, and then we could probably get you dialed in, or at least pinpoint what the problem is.
Check your power valve.
Bobby Z, here's one for you, Jamie.
Wow.
999 torque flight issue.
Oh.
In drive seems okay. Manual shift to low, it won't move. Will move in second, but doesn't seem to downshift. Truck's had several years, maybe gummed up, doesn't seem to slip.
Manual low engages the low reverse band. That's the only change between taking off in first gear in drive and taking off in first in low. And then it won't move, but it moves in drive.
There's no problem with reverse.
Right.
Evidently.
That doesn't make sense. Manual low. The only thing manual low does is engages that band. I've never experienced that. Yeah, I can't conceive of how that could happen in manual low, but your reverse still works. Because all it's doing is grabbing the rear drum. You got me, bud. I don't know.
Mobiga is saying, so this is his rich problem. It's rich at startup.
Everywhere.
Full throttle.
It's rich everywhere.
Power valve to a 6.5 because last one looked blown. I did a full tune-up. Okay, so if it's happening at idle, and it's happening at full throttle, so in other words, it's rich all the way across. At idle, the main jets are not part of the equation. You're only running off of the idle circuit and the transition, the very, very bottom of the transition slot. So I'm going to tell you where your mystery problem is. You ready for this one? Okay. Take the carburetor back apart. Take the float ball off, take the meter and block off, and then check the flatness of the throttle body, the main body of the carburetor, because they warp and they warp badly. And when they do, you suck fuel from the chamber that the power valve is located. It'll give you the same symptoms as a blown power valve. It'll suck fuel from that no matter what you do, and it'll always be rich. It'll always be pig rich. Pull it all apart, lay a straight edge over it, or take a file, okay, and just lightly graze the file over the front of it, and you'll see if it has high spots and low spots. If you see that there are high spots and low spots, keep filing until you've got it flat, then put it back together again. 90% of the time, when you've got a carburetor, a Holly carburetor, and it's rich no matter what you do, providing you get your float set at the right level.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Levels.
And I'm assuming that he did, right?
Yeah.
So float level is one thing, obviously. And the O-rings. So sometimes you'll get a very, very minor leak at the O-ring for the needle seat assembly. And that'll do it too, because it's, even though you've got the float height set correctly, it'll still overflow the bowl and start dripping fuel down the boosters. So if, let's just say, here's how you tell what's going on here. Engine's idling, look down into the carburetor. If you see no fuel dripping from the boosters, then pull it apart and do that check that I'm talking about on the surface of the throttle. And Jamie is nodding his head, yes, in agreement with this.
Yeah.
So I know
they're terrible.
The right thing.
They're always like that.
Yes. But 750 is not too big. The general rule of thumb that I go by, that a lot of people go by, is your starting point for carburetor size is twice the CFM. So you got a 350, double that, 700, you can round it up, 750, it's dead on. It's what the engine is going to want.
Yeah. It's a great rule for like performance-oriented builds, which of course is what most of us are doing. But yeah,
yes.
You know, smaller can be good, but that doesn't apply here. Shannon 78 Monty, with regards to the A99 problem, 999, something about shift linkage. There's nothing in the shift linkage that could make that happen.
No.
It's going D2 1, and when he goes into 1, it's like locking up the output. That I'm still trying to think what that could be. You
What
got
about
something?
What about a governor issue?
Well, what could it be doing?
If the
'Cause-
governor isn't retracting all the way, will it still send fluid to that circuit?
Well, if it doesn't send fluid to the circuit is the manual low. What it does is it engages the rear band. Because in drive it doesn't. But if it doesn't engage that circuit, it should still be able to. It won't stop moving. It'll still be in first. It just won't lock in. See what I'm saying?
What exactly was it doing again?
It stops moving when you drop it into first. So when the low band is grabbing, it's somehow like locking up the output of the transmission. He says if it's moving and you drop it into first, it stops moving the car.
It's applying reverse at the same time.
That's what it sounds like, but I don't. How does that happen? I've had that happen, but not in manual low. I've had it happen in neutral and
I had it happen with a manual valve body.
Okay.
That I got secondhand, put it in a car, had exactly that. Think of it now.
In first gear only?
In first gear, in high gear. Or I'm sorry, in low gear. Yes, it would engage. Just like a trans brake.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. I'm just trying to think of how.
No, I never bothered to pursue the problem. I was just like, okay, screw this thing. I take it back out. And
that's the thing. Like, I can't tell you what causes that. What if it's a valve body problem? Either way, the fix is rebuild the transmission. So
something is engaging reverse at the same time it's engaging low.
Yeah.
Standing foot, one-way roller clutching backwards. Can you?
I don't. Well,
if the
I don't know. I've never tried. I think it locks into the case in one direction. The sprag.
If you put the outer, if you put sprag in,
I don't think the transmission would work at all because the sprag would be locking up in like every always
freewheel.
I don't think that could work.
I don't know.
And I can't remember. Like I've done this, but I don't think you could put it in backwards.
I think you got to seek out John Cope.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Cope Racing Transmissions.
Channel John Cope.
Yeah.
If you light a couple of candles and you put some Tootsie Rolls around the candles, he may show up.
Oof.
But you don't want that. Yeah. On second thought, no candles and no Tootsie Rolls. use the phone instead. John Cope Racing Transmissions.
He is the man for that.
Yes. And if maybe one of our mods could help you out and find the number for John. Because when it comes to transmissions, like I'm like a silly little girl when it comes to running my transmissions. I avoid them. I hate them. I do them when I have to. Jamie's a little bit further.
Not my thing.
Than I am.
Dude, that is not true.
we're like silly little girls.
I've had my hands in 3 or 4 automatics ever. Like I try to avoid it too. 4 speeds, I'll do those all day.
Me too, all day long.
Love them. But,
all day long.
Yeah, the magic hydraulic voodoo is not for me.
Stuffing those rollers in that, please.
Yeah.
Mexican Spec is saying John Cope is on another live right now. Well, go to him. Which live is he on? Moltpar Man is saying, I'm getting a 400 big block for my 65 Dart. I don't want to get wild with it, but want to clean up the factory heads and run high compression pistons and aftermarket cam with 391 good gears. Good combo? Well, yeah.
Yes. The thing I don't like about big blocks is that they don't fit in those early A's. I think we might have talked about this on my live at some point. Or maybe that was someone else with an early A, but that's the thing I don't like about it. Great combination, light little car,
With C-body log manifolds, it fit really, really good.
They fit pretty good with fender well headers too.
Oh, wait, I'm
That
not
solves
even
the
going there.
problem.
Not even going there. But yeah, obviously.
Really? C-body manifold.
C-body manifolds. They're pain to change plugs on. You
Logs, not
everything
HPs?
from the front and reach underneath the manifolds.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which ones are really, really super difficult. The plug changes are not happy, but they physically fit.
Is it a standard log manifold or the C-body HP?
No, the C-body standard log manifold. The HP manifold won't clear the steering box, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
But years and years and years ago, yeah, we dropped like a 383 with out of like a Newport into a Valiant, and it just literally bolted right in there. We used factory head pipes and had to squish one side enough to clear the torsion bar.
That's cool.
And now I'm going by 40-something-year-old memories, but I just remember how well it fit in there. And I was like, oh, what a happy combination this is.
Nice.
Okay, what's this now? He's on the live right now. Go to the link Fubar gave you. So Fubar put up a link. There it is. Okay. Oh, so he's actually doing a live right now. So everybody should drop in on him on the link that Fubar and tell him he's got nice Tootsie Rolls. Zero. I don't know. I haven't seen you, bro. You're here though. Did you guys see?
Yeah. How's life on the West Coast, sir?
Bobby Z bets it's the governor because he's in Minnesota and bad governors are a real thing here. It's not just Minnesota, bro. Apologies. You never apologize, bro. Just you being here settles everything out. You are the man. Got stuck working later than expected. Yes. Midwest Mikey talking about the big block dart. He'd run 355 or 373 in that dart, depending on
really depends on what
cruising speed. My 383 with 373 is at 70 miles an hour. It's 3,100.
Really depends on what you're trying to do.
Bill McKeiska, thank you for the super chat. Any good ideas for a 5.7 Hemi in an everyday work truck? Looking for a low to mid-range torque monster. Stroker kit, supercharger, head work, and overbore? That's a lot.
My bone stock 5.7 Hemi makes 395 horsepower. What the early ones made 345, like enough.
For a work truck? Yeah.
I have different requirements for a work truck than some, I guess.
Yeah, stroker kit. I mean,
what kind of party do you want to have?
What's the largest stroke version of the
I don't know. I mean, the 392 is the biggest one, but I don't know the bore and stroke specs.
Yeah.
6.4 is the common truck motor.
I mean, it's a really good torque motor as it is.
It's a really good motor all around.
Yeah. Sometimes a little low-speed oiling, cam oiling.
Well, okay. Other than all the problems, which are many, they're great.
Yeah, they're great.
There have been multiple videos about that from the group here, but I mean, boost is cool. I don't like strokers myself. It's a good way to get torque, I guess. Overbore, you're not going to bore it far enough to make a difference, so don't,
Head work will not do anything for low to mid-range torque.
It's the opposite. Yeah. You're trading low end for top end.
Exactly.
Yeah, the 6.4s are in the 2500s and 3500s. That's the heavy-duty version, and they make plenty of torque.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Forget the 5.7 and go for the 6.4.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if torque is what you want, but if he has a 5.7,
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a 5.7, get it.
He's winning the balance of throwing a stroker or a explosion in there.
Yeah, buy a bigger motor.
Just get a bigger motor.
Yeah. I don't think boost is the way to go for a work truck. I don't think a stroker's worth it. I mean, a set of headers and a tune, you're going to make 400 horsepower with a 5.7. And again, I don't know the torque figure, but probably enough. It doesn't take much. They're good right out of the box.
But honestly, for a work truck, I mean, let's say your work truck, you're going to use it to pull down houses. Okay?
Yeah. In that case, the bigger inch motor.
In that case, go to Cummins. Do a Cummins swap on.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but Tony is recommending the Cummins? I can't believe it.
Well, there's a time and a place for everything.
And this is it. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Or a V10. There's another.
I want a V10 truck.
That's a torque freak. I mean, so yeah, lots of options. But my last thing would be supercharging it.
Yeah, for this application.
For that application.
Boost for fun, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's go. Jamie, if you see anything, jump in there.
Yeah.
Dr. Art, you see anything?
Go up to Klein Lawn Care Snow Plowing.
I see. I was reading it just as you were saying it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is in response to the previous question about transmissions. He has a two-wheel drive, 1997, and drive would bind up and go first and reverse no trouble. Okay, so that's what we got here. The reverse piston stuck and had rebuilt transmission caused the bands needed adjusted.
That happened to me twice.
Really?
Yes.
Reverse piston stuck?
Well, I never knew what it was. It was actually 904s, and it was before I knew anything. But I had an occurrence where these transmissions were trying to be in reverse all the time, and in neutral they would be all bound up and horrible. In drive they would kind of work. In first and second you could just take off, no problem. But like you had no neutral because reverse was kind of jammed on a lot of the time. Does that make sense? This sounds just like that, not like the other problem we were talking about. Because again, what he's experiencing is only enforced first, so it's kind of like very different, but also similar, I guess.
Well, he's saying it would bind up and go first and reverse.
He said first, reverse, no trouble. In drive, it would bind up.
Yeah, he didn't have any problem getting it into reverse if he put it in reverse.
Right.
But if he put it in first, it was engaging first and reverse at the same time.
That was the other guy, yeah.
No, that's this guy.
This guy says in drive, in the D position, it would bind up. But in first, it was fine.
Okay.
Right.
I
So
see.
it's kind of the opposite,
Okay.
but also messed up.
I see it.
And that sounds like what happened to me. I killed two 904s that did exactly that after horsing around.
Scrolling back up here.
I saw a couple comments about my axes. People always ask about those. How many are there? Too many.
Doctor, you see anyone?
That's what I'm still looking. It's all just kind of
Three sets of eyes.
Try frantically waving at the transmission. Helpful advice from Rope. Nice.
yeah.
Craziest story from a drag race. I remember one time I was running this guy. This was on a local track not too long ago, and tree turned green, and I'm expecting him to go marching right past me, and I'm looking over, and nothing. And then where the hell is this car? You know. And
Doctor, you got any idea what he's talking about?
I don't know.
And I looked all the way back there. It looks like it never left the starting line.
Yeah, I bet that was a proud moment for that guy.
Yeah. So I beat him by 51 car lengths.
Go ahead and hate me now. That car later ran sevens with a simple gear change and a new axle shaft.
Yeah, I know. Look, I get lucky. That's the thing. It makes me look good.
I'd rather be lucky than good.
A lot.
Yeah.
Bill McKinsey, thank you for the super chat. Any good way or budget-friendly kit to swap a 6.4 into a 5.7 equipped half-ton 2017 Ram 1500? Jamie, this is like your show, bro. Go for it.
Which is funny because I've never done it, and I actually am not really a third-gen Hemi guy, but I do like them in their proper home. Budget-friendly isn't really a term with Hemis that I'm familiar with. Physically, the 6.4 is going to go right in place of the 5.7. Like, it should bolt right in there. If you didn't tell the truck that it was a 6.4, it would probably just fire up and go. But you're going to want to have it tuned for that. And the 6.4... do they have MDS? I don't know. I'm not sure. The MDS situation may be different. So you're going to have your ECM tuned to make it happy.
So Dr. R tunes these things. Is there any difference between...
There's a ton of difference between a 6.4 and a 5.7 on the way it runs.
Yeah. Do 6.4s have MDS? Because I don't know. 5.7s do. And deleting the MDS on the 5.7 is a big thing too, so there are parts and resources out there for that. But again, ultimately, you're going to need a tune to make this happen.
Right.
You're going to have your ECM tuned because your ECM has your VIN, so everything else in the truck will talk to it happy. So you'll be sending that off. But as far as I know, bolting it in there is just like an engine swap. You're probably going to want 6.4 injectors. I don't know what the manifold intake differences are.
6.4 complete.
Yeah, take everything.
It'll pin up. Being a 17, you have to have the computer unlocked,
and
then you can have it tuned.
There you go.
So that's an extra, just $500, just gratuity to the
that's nice.
Mopar guys.
Chrysler.
Yeah.
While you're doing this, put headers in there if you haven't already.
Right, because they're all
cracked manifolds,
that was the biggest problem with trying to help people tune Hemis that aren't in front of you, because every exhaust manifold leaks and
the O2 readings are all wrong.
Yeah, especially because they all want to do. I got my Brian Tooley cam in my Hemi and it won't run. Yeah, well, I get it to idle and stuff, but above that, yeah, you could hear that their exhaust manifolds are leaking on the phone, and you're like,
they're all like that. Yep. So there you go. And the headers are a nice little boost, not a crazy amount, but while you're at it, it fixes the manifold problem. And physically putting it in there shouldn't be any big deal. If you've got a whole dress 6.4, it's that and a tune.
Yeah, Steve from the Rust Farm says, yes, the 6.4s do have MDS.
They do. Yeah.
And major fail points, so you're better off with
You'd probably want to do the delete.
The delete with the other lifters.
Yeah.
0. Budget friendly. I warn folks that have been a Mopar. If you say that out loud, you owe somebody $50.
Right.
Yep. There you go.
True.
It's just, it's a tax, yeah.
Mopars are a lot of things, but they ain't cheap.
Happy Hermit.
Ooh.
Dr. Art, my 94 Cummins Dodge quit charging through the ECM. Can you fix it?
I can answer that. No.
No.
But it's super easy to just add the old school electronic regulator, wire it to that alternator. It works mint. Done it many times.
Yeah, pretend your ECU never had that.
You don't need that ECM on that truck. I mean, if you've got it drives the TAC and it does drive the charging system until it dies, and they always do. But you can run that thing completely without the ECM.
Jamie, do you have a video concerning that conversion?
Yes and no. I covered it. God, I've covered it a couple times, but in my ramp truck nose job video, I went through all the electrical on my truck. It's a 92's first gen, but same basically. 12 valve Cummins. And I did a complete ECM delete. I went through the steps on it. I showed the regulator and I kind of wired stuff up. I can't say that I went through it in 100% detail, but yeah, I definitely showed it in that video. It's just the regular 70s. Done that, but the lights pulse. Your voltage signal to your regulator, where'd you pull it off of? Because that's a common issue with a lot of stuff, actually. But make sure you've got a good ignition signal to that regulator.
He might have gone way back and used a point regulator on that.
Oh, don't use that one. Use the electronic two. Well, I guess they're both 2 wires. Not the box, but the flat one. That's what you want. If you use the mechanical one, yeah, your lights are going to pulse. But having said that, my 92 has the 2 wire, and I have had pulsing light issues, and it's down to the voltage signal that's getting to that regulator.
Mexican spec has dash lights pulsing also.
Common issue, I guess.
Mm-hmm. A nice 1-wire alternator will solve all your problems.
Stop it. That's hard on the Cummins because it's an 8-rib flat belt, and you got it. Yeah. If we're talking muscle cars, no problem, but on the Cummins, it's a little harder.
I'm scrolling back up. You guys see anything?
I'm scrolling.
Talking about the E-body tax.
Yeah. I want nothing to do with that. Do you like E-bodies?
I like to look at them.
Yeah.
There's nothing more beautiful than a 71 CUDA in my mind.
And they do drive nice. I've noticed that. It's like a B body, but even tighter and more, but they're just so impractical and useless.
But here's the funny thing, right? When they were around, when they were common, I had several of them that were just good drivers, like 6-cylinder and 318 cars that made for really nice everyday, bounce around cars.
Mm-hmm.
From the hot rod standpoint, Yeah, no, not really. I had a 71 446 pack 4-speed car. For performance, I prefer a B-body.
Yeah.
Always preferred a B-body, and always preferred Plymouth over Dodge because of that wheelbase difference.
Right.
But E-bodies make awesome drivers. Like if
Yep.
if I was to add an E-body to my fleet, and I am not adding an E-body to my fleet, it would be a 7071. Oh, okay. Well, 7071 Challenger or any year CUDA 318 3-speed. I remember that as being I had an orange one. I had an orange 70 Challenger. It was 318 3-speed.
Mm-hmm.
And what a happy everyday, people underrate or never give that 3-speed transmission a chance.
Yeah. The A230?
The A230. It's the sweetest shifting transmission. The gear spacing is just right.
Yeah.
On the E-body, they use a short stick,
Mhm.
a straight stick, and it's like right there.
Right there.
Side, and it's the happiest driving, and they're strong. Those transmissions are brutally strong. I used to drive a Hemi Challenger for a guy, a street race car. It was a 4-speed car. And we flat ran out of 4-speeds. I'm breaking 4-speeds all the time. And for one night out, we put an A230 in the car, and it lived.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
They're good transmissions.
I think I have 3 of them. My brother-in-law just delivered another one today that I took out of a Dart like 12 years ago. That one had a 3 on the tree, though. That is not a fun shifting situation. Good transmission, but not so much there.
With 3 on the tree?
Oh, I think it's a 230. It was behind a 318 and a 74 Dart.
The 230 looks just like an 833.
Yeah.
Because usually it's the 903.
Yeah.
Is that's the one with the top loader?
Yeah.
That's usually column shift.
Right. Yeah. No. This is the side shift. Yeah. I've got like 3 of them.
Really?
Full synchro. Yeah. The 230s, the heavy duty, full synchro. Yep. That's exactly the guy.
I just can't ever remember seeing a car.
Yeah.
A230 with manual linkage. Oh, okay. Yeah. It came out of a satellite, or it came out of a B-body.
Okay. Yeah. This was a 74 Dart 318. Yeah. Super fun until you bind up between first and second every time you try to, power shift it or whatever.
Let's see. Jason Matthews, 66 440 D150, runs 1460s in drive and 14.1s manually shifting. Should I be shifting below 5,000 RPM?
Where are you making power?
Right.
What's the engine combination?
If you're manually shifting it above 5,000 RPM, why would you want to shift it below 5,000 RPM? Which is where the normal shift point is going to be. 5,000, 5,200, like that. No, if you got a cam in there and you got an intake and you got an exhaust, let it eat.
Let it run.
6,000 RPM. Cop Car Steve wants to know if you and your friend are planning another live show.
We're writing an all-new set right now. We recorded an album in when did we finish it? I don't know. Whatever. Still haven't put it out, but we're writing all new material. We will be playing again this year, but nothing's on the books yet.
You got to do a cover of Taste the Biscuit, man. You're not familiar?
Oh, yes. Probably not going to do that. That's funny.
Have you ever seen the metal version of it?
I have not.
Oh, dude, there's every version you can imagine. There's
a
marching band version. There's a metal version. There's a couple of different metal versions. One of them is just dubbed over their original video, and then there's another one that's actually a metal band that does it.
Mm-hmm. Incredible. We'll add that to the playlist.
Oh, look, see, people wanting this, right? Isaac Paulson saying, right? Yes.
What's up, baby? Then go do it. You don't need me. Let's go.
She's so beautiful.
That's my 4-year-old niece, Fern. She's staying with us right now.
Excellent.
His backpack will travel.
Yeah, that's right.
Midwest Mike is saying, this is how I find out Jamie's in a band.
You didn't. I mean, there were clues.
I'm scrolling back up.
Too many acronyms in my life. What does MDS stand for? It stands for Multiple Displacement System, and what it means...
Failure. It means failure.
It means bad. Yeah, it means half of the cylinders in your V8 turn off going down the road, and it does increase fuel economy for brief periods. It also sounds funny, and sometimes those cylinders don't come back.
It also gets blamed for all sorts of different issues that really have nothing to do with it.
Correct, but it is certainly interesting that so many issues come along in the engines that have it, because GM's torque, what did they call it? Torque on demand or something? I don't know, whatever. Displacement on demand, DOD. Those engines have horrible problems, just like the Chrysler ones do. But anyway.
Andrew Button is saying, yes, back in the day, 71 Cudas with the odd duct. Nobody liked the front end. I remember well.
That's the best one.
In my opinion, Chrysler knocked it out of the park with all of the 1971 grills.
Yeah.
100%. The Challenger, that's the grill for those cars. And people like the 70. No, screw the 70. The 71. The Cuda, please, that's the only grill I can picture on a Cuda, the 71. And even if you look at like just the basic cars, like the Coronet had a cool grill in 71.
71 Charger with the little loops.
Yes.
And the Hideways, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, and the optional wipers.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the most insane option. You know, a lot of people don't know about that. Chrysler actually had, for the Hideaway headlight cars, they had a wiper system, a headlight cleaning system that was little wiper blades that would clean the freaking headlights.
That was I remember reading in one of the brochures, like that came with some, because there were Hideaway headlights on C-bodies too. So wasn't there a Monaco that used that in some package or something? Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of the magical self-cleaning back window.
Self-cleaning back window?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
Monaco wagons? Something like that. I got to look it up or read a book or something.
Yeah, there was the super light that was the
right.
Clara.
Those things are so goofy.
Yeah, but yeah, 71. As far as I'm concerned, that was like the high water mark of Chrysler styling. And then 72, how they went from that iconic 71 Challenger grill
to the frowny face.
To the frowny face in
to like this day.
Yeah, it's almost like they drew it out in disgust.
Yeah,
it was like somebody. It was like they wanted to make changes to the car, and
we got to change it. So let's just make it worse.
It's perfect. Make a frowny face here. Here's your front end. And put it into production, and it lasted for 3 years.
So my car was a frowny face Challenger, and I liked it. And I blacked out around the grill, and then you can't tell it's a frowny face, and it looks okay, but. They're just the worst. No one likes them. They're worth so much less than, The late Cuda is still, like, people like those. It's still a good-looking grill and round taillights and everything. And the Challenger's just such a letdown.
The headlight bezels on the frowny faces. It's like how just
Yeah. Well. Happy Hermit says 71 to 4 B bodies are the absolute best drivers. They're great. I mean, the isolated K-frame makes things a little goofy, but they kept making B bodies until 79, and the 79 300 is also a very good driving B body. They might not be as pretty, but they're good cars.
The 7172 doesn't drive any different than
an earlier B. Right.
When you get to the ISO suspension and all that other stuff in 73. Made a big difference in those cars handle.
Yeah, smooth, quiet.
And it also added a lot of weight down low.
Yeah,
like an extra 100. By the time you add everything up, it's like an extra 100 pounds, and it's dropping the car's overall center of gravity, so it gives it that tighter feel altogether.
Yeah.
And Fubar is dropping links, man. He
like crazy.
My merch. Awesome, Fubar. Thank you. He dropped the link to Jamie's channel. Dead Dodge Garage, and he
Nice.
dropped the link to Dr. Art's channel, and Dr. Art has now had a 275,000 view video. And he did a video on a dragster that we're working on at the shop, and his one video crushed all of mine.
Your whole series. Really?
Yes. I don't know what to make of this.
How did I miss that?
It was because it had 7,000 views for 2 months, and then it just went bananas. I changed some of the languages it's available in, and it went bananas.
You know why it is? It's because you put everything wrong with your rear end in the thumbnail.
Well, it's a great thumbnail.
That's then, beautiful.
And I put it in for Japan, so the people in Japan, ooh, what did you
do?
Isaac Paulson saying, taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Yeah.
Once that song gets in your head, man, it just doesn't go out. It's like a tumor. It just gets stuck in there. Toasters and Moose is the name of the group.
The metal band?
No, that's the.
Oh, that's the original. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Toasters and Moose.
Ooh. Love that.
Richard Hayes sent a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, Richard.
Which you can't see in StreamYard for some reason.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can. I can see it.
Well, you can see it on the YouTube side.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Goob is hearing dogs, and yes, it sounds like there was melee happening there. Should I call Kat? No, I'm not going to call.
No, it's Kathy's. That's Kathy's.
Kathy!
For 2 hours, it's her. It's her.
I got the phone. I've been calling her all night.
This one time I hung out with Tony, and we were like watching YouTube or something. But every time he needed Kat, he'd just Kathy, Kat. It was just so good. So good.
Let's see.
Zero misses shifting gears. Me too, dude. Me too.
I got to get my Roadrunner back together. My 73.
Dude, you do.
I'm going to do that in the driveway.
Nice.
I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do a little. It needs metal work. I can do a lot of metal work to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the whole car here in the driveway at the house. Mostly because I got a dragster clogging up my shop.
Notice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys look into those random clutch parts I found?
Yes, there was a pedal clutch setup there was like an alcohol dragster pedal clutch.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, right?
Close, but
not only the clutch, but we need an input shaft that's going to match to the spline.
Gotcha.
First, it's got to be spaced. The whole thing's got to be spaced for the extended crank that's on.
Right.
426 one is going to be different.
Yep.
And then we have oddball splines on the reverser and an oddball spline from the reverser to the rear end. So we need an input shaft that's going to match that. So it's like a whole bag of shit. It's not
right.
a matter of getting.
All got to be matched, and yeah, I gotcha. Oh, I did see a question from Luca Sivey. If you were to build Magnum 360 for Street Strip, Dakota RT, which is an awesome truck, by the way, would you go carb or keep the injection? Got to keep up with my daughter's Skylark. I like the factory injection, but it has its limitations. There's an upgraded manifold you can get. You could send the PCM to Dr. Art and have it tuned. I mean, there are things you can do with that injection system, but a carb and a manifold sure are easier. And if you're trying to...
They're not easier. They're not...
Well, they're easier for the,
For you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But... the EFI is just a magic box. Like there's certainly a hot rodder's appeal to having
putting a carb on it.
Yeah, and a normal distributor. And if we're talking about racing it and stuff, well, it makes it so you can tune it at the track and change parts and that sort of thing. So there's an appeal in that. I like the EFI, but I also, if I had a Dakota RT, I'd be leaving it stock and doing burnouts on the street all day. That's what they're good for. So kind of dealer's choice.
What's the rarest Dodge V8 valve cover?
Rarest?
Rarest Dodge V8 valve cover.
The mechanical rocker, adjustable rocker Dodge Hemi from 19... Well, they stopped in...
The Red Ram, you mean?
Yeah, the Red Ram, but with the little mechanical dimples. The little dimples for adjustable rockers.
I don't think that's really rare though, because that was all in the industrial
trucks and industrials.
Yeah,
I wonder how many they made though.
I'm thinking.
Ooh, Dodge Poly. They probably made 1 billion of those too.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's going to be some 1 year only covers. Like 69 is a 1 year only set of covers.
Oh yeah, well that's true. Yeah, because they took off the hose holder in '69. Is that what they did? Then they changed the breather in '70.
It has a plug-in PCV. It has a later model PCV, but it still has the oil cap.
'69 does?
Yeah.
Oh,
Then,
but they just changed the. Oh no, it would have the tower for the earlier style one.
no, 69 still has the tower.
For the breather.
Yeah, and then it has regular
PCV.
PCV on the other side. So
What did '68 have for the PCV? I
that
thought
has-
those two were the same, and the only change was they pulled the hose bracket off.
68 has the metal one, the metal PCV.
Metal PCV. So it has two towers, right? One for the metal PCV, one for the breather. One tower on each side.
Yes.
And then six. Okay. All right. I thought the plastic PCV came in '70, but I'm not an expert. That's why, we got Tony.
I'm just going by memory.
Yeah. I thought '69 covers were the same, but they removed the metal hose bracket. The heater hoses were moved to the fender or whatever. So that bracket's gone, I thought.
That was one of them.
'69. Yeah. But, also how many '69 big blocks did they make? Kind of a lot. And those would have been used basically across the board, not in C-bodies.
Maybe that was a trick question, and he knows of one, and he's just trying to make us look like rank amateurs.
Maybe he wants to figure out the rarest ones so he can go buy them all and corner the market.
It could be like a 64 max wedge thing.
Well, yeah. But I think, yeah.
I bet you there's something to it. I bet you, because think about what's the rarest big block.
I'm trying to think.
If you go with the rarest big block, it's going to be a 64 max wedge. Everything else was pretty much regular production, and the 64 max was.
But is the valve cover special? I mean, they're chrome, right, with a sticker on them?
That's the street wedge.
Oh yeah. So isn't it the same cover though as a normal big block? Did they change anything?
I don't know. Let's find out. I bet you somebody knows.
Yeah,
Doc Yard probably knows, and he's just keeping it to himself.
Tom probably knows.
He's snickering. Tom knows everything.
He did a max wedge video. He might have mentioned it there. I don't know.
If I had to have a max wedge, I like max wedges. It would have to be a 64.
There's a puppy behind.
Oh my God, the puppy grew in a week.
Puppy. Yes.
Oh.
It's a little Amelia May.
Oh.
She's 8 weeks old today, and she's already assimilated in. She's a big girl. She knows how to sit. She knows how to spin. She's already like assimilated in with the whole pack. Hello, say hello.
Oh.
Look,
Oh my gosh, she grew
on
in
YouTube right there.
a week.
Look, it's
Yeah.
Uncle Dr. Art and Uncle Jamie. Yes.
Hi, puppy. She's so precious. I can't look.
Take her.
Too much cuteness for
Border Collies, I keep saying it. I say it like 10 times a day now. I'm sick of saying it. Border Collies are the best thing I have ever done in my entire life. And if I had to do it all over again, I would go back to like when I was a teenager and just become Border Collie guy. I would have moved to the hills of Scotland, put some shoes and coats and shit like that. And I would have just spent my entire life surrounded by Border Collies.
Nice.
Amelia May. And Zero added the May part. Let's see.
Self-cleaning back window was a spoiler thing. No, I'm pretty sure there's a washer system inside the back, an optional washer system inside a wagon back door that cleans the window inside the door.
That rings a bell.
And it's set in the brochure. It says, wait, I should have it right here. It says it mysteriously cleans the back window. It's something like that. It's ridiculous. I don't know where that is.
Go up to
That's probably
Midwest Mikey there. That's a pretty good question.
Midwest Mikey.
Yeah.
I've heard you can put any 67 plus A body front end
yes.
on any 67 plus A body.
Also 63 to 6.
Yes. Actually 62. Also 61 is different.
No, 63. Yeah, that's when the body changed 6. So 60 to 62.
Yeah, the body changed in 63.
63. So 63 to 6. You can change any of those noses, Dodge or Plymouth. My 66 Barracuda has a 66 dart nose. It goes right on. The door body lines are the same. Yep. And B bodies are the same too, right? The Coronet door is a Roadrunner door or whatever in 68 and 9. Yep.
Yeah,
So
So, well, the door skin on a 67 on every 67 up A body, every single one except the Barracuda. The only one's different.
Yep.
The door skin is the same from a 1967 Valiant to a 1976 Dart, right?
Yep.
They're all exactly the same stamp.
Even Dusters, although they got curved glass and no vent windows, it's still the same door skin.
Same door.
Yep. So yeah, the noses just swap right over.
Yeah. It's not the same door, just the same door skin.
Correct.
They changed the guts of the door several times during the course of its run.
Yep. They got rid of vent windows off, darts in '73, for example. But yeah, the metal's the same.
And Valiants and Dusters and Dart Sports have the same quarter stamping from the wheel opening back. That line, that character line at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the same from all of the Dusters, all of the Plymouth A bodies, and the Dodge short wheelbase cars, the Duster based cars.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm scrolling back up. Russ Farm agrees with me about Border Collie. I mean, I love all dogs. Don't get me wrong. I've never met a dog I didn't like. Border Collies are different, and you have to live with them to really understand how different they are.
Andrew Button with a question. Is the 440 source aluminum head any better than a ported 906? Define better. It's different. I mean, it's a good head. It's a closed chamber, so that's nice. You can build a quench setup. They're good out of the box, but 906 has lots of potential. Aluminum's lighter. What does better mean? I
still like the 915s out of all of the big block cars.
Yeah, the big valve ones, I'm sure.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. People talk shit about the 1.6 exhaust valve.
They do.
Every friggin' LS out there has a 1.6 exhaust valve, and nobody ever says, "Oh, that's too small."
Yeah. LSs are terrible. Yeah.
Intake, yeah, but intake size makes it different. But the 1.6 is totally adequate.
Yeah.
But the 915s are just automatic, so it's a 516 head with the larger
big intake. Yeah.
It's just the go-to. I picked up the set. I'm building. So, Dr. Art's got important.
No, I'll just mute this here in a second. Hang on.
So I'm gathering parts for the total dirtbag 440 build.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Total dirtbag. Right.
Nice.
So this is all hand-me-down, leftover, like hurt junk from Facebook Marketplace that we're going to combine into an engine. Right.
I love this.
And all the other shit. So I picked up a set of race ported, right, complete with valves, beautiful stainless valves, race ported 915s, okay, perfect. I paid $100 for the pair.
Oh,
with the valves and all that,
dude.
One of the intake ports, I guess they poured it just a little too much and
into water.
Airline crack and it leaks water. So we're gonna come up with some kind of Rube Goldberg fix.
JB Weld, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So
awesome! Can't wait to see that.
But I love those heads. They're just so simple. It's late, guys. We're already over here.
Yeah, it is late.
It is late. Not where you are.
No, it's only 7 here. It's actually still almost light outside. It's also blowing sideways here today. It's pretty cool.
Midwest Mikey agrees with me. Yes.
Oh yeah, they're the classic big block performance head for sure. Bobby Z said the 273 Commando had the coolest valve covers. I certainly do like them, but I think it's just standard 273 covers painted black with a little doodad stuck on it. They are rare.
Mark Survey says Dr. Art's falling asleep.
He's taking a nap.
These Mopar people just keep yapping. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm just letting you go.
He wants to talk about his El Camino.
You guys talk about it. That's fine.
Yeah. Your puppy melted all us tough guys like ice cream. Yeah.
Rapid Transit Mopar. Which engine would you choose? 446 pack or the Hemi if you were cloning a car? 440 all day long.
Do you want good or do you want awesome? That is the choice you have to make.
No. Do you want good or do you want eternal headaches and agita?
And awesome.
Do you want to just sit with the thing with the hood open,
Yeah.
fire, the
Pulling the valve covers off, which is the worst thing in the world, and yeah.
Or do you want to actually?
Or do you want to actually drive
and not throw rods out of itself, or keep the valve train alive, or have to go hunting for valve cover gaskets because they're unobtainium?
And be awesome.
Yes, 440, 100% all day long. 383. If my choice is between a 383 and a Hemi, I take the 383. If the choice is between a 340 and a Hemi, I'll take the 340. There's very few things that I'm so Hemied out.
I know you, and you are right. And anyone with any brain cells to rub together that wants to build a car should not build a Hemi because they're terrible, and I love them.
Well, we're all waiting for your Hemi and your flying banana.
I bought the blower 2 weeks ago.
When I was like 19, there was a guy named George Baptiste. He might still be around. He was in Queens, and he had a 68 Hemi Cuda, a factory car that was his daily driver. And his Hemis, he was all Hemis all the time. And he was looped in with the street racer crowd that the Barry Petard and the Mutt Brothers and all of that. So he was one of the people I looked up to. And I told him, man, what do I got to do to start putting a Hemi together? And he was like, do you really want to go there? I said, yes. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If you think you need a Hemi, then you need a Hemi, and nothing else is going to do. Mm-hmm. And I bought that hook, line, and sinker, and I did it to the point of disgust and self-destruction.
Yeah. So, it's my turn now.
It's your turn now, exactly.
It's my turn now. Every Hemi video, I explain why it's a terrible idea and you shouldn't do it, and I'm still going to. Rocco said the ball stud Hemi would be the rarest Mopar valve cover.
Oh, yeah.
It literally doesn't exist except that one set. Don't get him going on the ball stud Hemi.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
You know why I want the 64 max wedge and only a 64 would do it?
I do not.
That boss that was cast into the header and the exhaust manifold cracking. Mm-hmm. It's the only year it's got them.
Huh. I don't know that.
Yeah, the 64 max wedge had even more extreme exhaust manifolds, and there were bosses cast into them for a brace, like the fender braces they used.
Oh.
Yeah, to brace it so that they don't break off. I just need to have one of those.
What's the 63 max wedge, the high compression race version have? Doesn't it have big crazy header-looking manifolds?
Yeah, but they're not as big or crazy as the 64s.
All right. And then they just have a downpipe that goes to the cap, and then it goes back.
It has, as a downpipe.
Yeah, and it curves out and goes to the
crossover.
Is there a crossover? Oh, okay.
And then the caps, and then a Y pipe and a single exhaust that runs to the back of the car.
Is it?
With a transverse muffler.
Huh.
The transverse muffler fits behind, right behind the bumper.
Huh. Interesting. I've only played with one. The caps were off. It was kind of loud.
Yeah, the factory exhaust they put on those cars was just so that they could get them to the dealership and be driving them around, like that, and not,
Yeah.
And technically, to meet NHRA class regulations, it had to come with a factory exhaust system.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't have to use it, but it had to be there.
Right.
So they just threw out a 6-cylinder exhaust.
A little tiny 6-cylinder, single pipe that goes all the way to the back with a transverse muffler.
But at the front, it's so impressive looking. It's this big giant horn, and then the caps, and then it's nuts looking.
And Cop Car Steve is thanking Dr. Art for all of his support. Cop Car Steve is on the march. He's on the hunt for subs. So by all means, go over there and check out Cop Car Steve's channel and give him a sub, and let's help him grow.
Enjoy his cop cars.
Barry Kudus says that one of his border cars looked like
Just
Jack
saw that.
Stewart. He was the announcer or the guys who don't know. Jackie Stewart was like a Formula One driver in the 60s. Very famous guy, very talented guy. and then he became the commentator for the Wide World of Sports. So anytime they had an automotive event, it was, Jackie Stewart would be there.
Jackie Stewart.
This is Jackie Stewart. It's turn 3 and it's bitter cold. He was great. Let's see.
426 Hemi or Ford 4-liter single overhead cam.
I'll take the Hemi.
He will take the
That's
Hemi.
awesome.
I'll take the Hemi in that case.
That is the engine that got you out of mechanicking, right? Wasn't it one of those? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had done like a few of them. Like I knew the job. Like I could have done it blindfolded because I had already done a few of them.
Yeah.
But it was
the back chain.
It was so perverse. It was so senseless and it was so perverse and everything was so dark. Like I just remember I was like, okay, let's get to work. And I opened the hood and it's just this sea of black. And knowing that senseless, nonsensical claptrap meant that
nightmare is just waiting for you. Yeah.
This was going to suck hours out of my life, valuable hours of my life for nonsense. You couldn't pay me to do this anymore. And it was it. I walked away. I couldn't do it.
One of my worst mechanical experiences ever was installing one of those engines in one of those trucks and trying to get the torque converter studs in when you physically, like it's 4-wheel drive and you just can't get, it's horrible. It's just horrible. And it's almost impossible. It's not fun.
Phantom Wrench says that George Batiste lives on Cape Cod and still has the black Cuda. You're kidding me. Well, if you come across him, if you know him, are you sure about that? Because he has to be kissing close to like 100 friggin' years old now. But if it is George, Tony says hi. He would remember me as just punk kid that used to hang around and ask dumb questions. And he was always so polite. He was such that George was the most gentlemanly like person you'd ever meet. So yeah, if he's still around and you have contact with him, tell him thank you. Let's see. Scoop loves a Fox body, Notch V8. Jamie,
who doesn't?
On that road.
I like the fastbacks, and I want one. The Notch is the smarter, less twisty move, but I just like the fastbacks, and I want one.
The Notch is harder to launch.
Harder to launch?
Yeah.
And less weight.
Because it's less. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I ordered one. I actually lost a deposit on one. I got my hatch, and then I said no, I need the Notch because there's a significant weight difference. And then I started driving a Notch for somebody at that period of time when I was deep into it, and I couldn't get the thing to work on a street tire, which was a night and day difference between launching the Notch and the hatch, and so I never picked up the Notch back.
Interesting.
You've never had a Fox Body Mustang, Jamie?
No, I've done a bunch of work on a really sweet 79 Capri. I wish I liked it more than I do. I could probably own it right now. But I've never had one. I've always liked them. I've had 2 SN95s, but I've never had a Fox body. I need to.
And Joker is checking out.
Do you guys get excited when you see 3rd Gen F bodies now, or is that just me?
That's just you.
It's like the perfect quintessential trailer park muscle car or whatever, but like, can't you just picture drifting one in a field and like winning a golden toilet with it or something? Like,
I could.
But they're so horrible on the inside.
I know. I had a couple of those. I never had a Fox body, but I had. God, I might have had 3 of those actually.
I drag tested every conceivable variation of those cars when I was doing Cars Illustrated. Yeah. And I never liked them. I never liked them. The Pontiacs made me feel like a dick. The driving was like the IROCs were okay. You know what I mean? It's like, this is kind of all right. But the Pontiac versions always made me feel like a dick. Huh. I can't put my finger exactly why, but it was like I would hide when I would get one of those cars. Like I didn't really want to take it out street racing. Huh. And I hated the shifter on them. The 5-speed cars had this. it was like the shift was like a bowling ball. The size of the friggin' shifter on that thing.
I had a 5-speed Trans Am WS6, but I
You
don't
didn't have
know.
the big shifter on
I
it?
don't think so. I'm not remembering that. That's the car I learned to drive a stick on.
What year was it?
85.
Yeah, that would have been the zone that I'm remembering that had the
Yeah.
oversized.
May well have been changed out. That car was super hacked. I think it's just the what's the word? Nostalgia for me now, you know.
Oh, okay.
It's messed up.
Big Block is a big Stellantis fan, and he's here to watch.
Huh. All right.
Welcome. Let's see. The holes. Technical question here in Australia. There's a bit of a talk about the 440 and 6-cylinder 265 having casting issues from the factory, and the rear main seals don't seal. Is that right?
Never heard of that in a big block.
I don't know anything about the 265. We just
Wish I did.
Right.
Want one. Want two.
440s, no. Nothing inherent. I mean, I've come across them that leak, but there's no inherent problem with them.
There's no question that there were casting quality issues, but I'm not aware of anything like that.
Jimmy Lou says Chris Birdsong did a video about that just this week. What did he do a video on? I like Chris Birdsong.
Let's find out. We're friends on Facebook.
Are you really?
Yeah, he added me. Junker up. Chris Birdsong.
I like him. I like his content. I like his attitude.
Yeah. Wow, we have almost exactly the same amount of subs now. That's crazy. The Mopar rear main seal debacle 9 days ago. I mean, there is no question that even really good, talented Mopar engine builders like Mopar Joe have had issues with seals leaking, but I don't know that that's down to a block casting issue. If that's what Birdsong's talking about in his video, I don't know, but...
Well, it's a machined surface. There's no casting involved in
exactly
the rear main seal.
Yeah, they machine that whole square out.
Yeah. Although maybe the machining was off. But then again, there were gaskets that fit into the sides of the
side rails.
The oil seal holder.
Mm-hmm.
There were the gaskets that should take up any, which is sometimes a real pain in the ass to get in there.
Oh,
that could lead to a problem because you go to.
Yes.
So how do you put them in?
I'm glad you asked. I start them. I set them in the cap about. I just kind of eyeball about a half-inch down. Slot them, kind of bend them just like this. Start it in the block and then push it down. I don't put anything on them. I silicone down to the bottom, and I just slide the cap in. And if I did it right, light pressure on them as it goes.
It hits the bottom.
Yep. If you did it right, they'll just bump into the bottom and they'll just be sticking flush at the top. If they're way down, something's wrong. And if they're way up, you're going to have a bad time.
Yep.
But that has always worked for me.
Yep.
Always.
It's a tricky thing. You got to be a real Mopar guy to know that technique.
Yep, it is. The only leaking rear main issue I've had was actually a really dumb one. It was a rusty engine, and we had to change the cap, and one of the bolts would not actually tighten all the way. It ran into rust in the threads, and it was tight, but it wasn't clamping the cap. When I took it apart, there was oil leaking above the seal cap. It's crazy looking. Only time I've ever had a problem.
All right. Guys, we're moving up to 2.5 hours. Let's take a couple more and pack it in because you only rent orange juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Are you a pulp guy?
Yes.
Good man.
Yes.
It's all the pulp or don't bother for me.
If I can't chew on my orange juice, I just don't. If I can't take pulp out of my teeth as I'm falling asleep, I don't want to deal with it.
I drink gallons of the stuff and I passed it on to my daughter. I'm proud of that.
People used to think I was a heroin addict. Evidently, they guzzle orange juice for some reason.
Huh. I had never heard that.
Yeah.
Decontrol is restoring a 69 Cornet thanks to Birdsong's videos. Yeah, his metalwork stuff, he is just the best for that. He's been making videos on that since long before I ever thought of having a YouTube channel. He's the man. We learned a lot from him.
Yeah, and he'd be up under the car. Oh, it's got this brace on this year, and very like, oh, okay, he's really geeked out on all that. But he does, nice work.
Oh yeah.
I'm just scrolling up, see if we miss anything.
No. Also, 69 Cornet. Nice. Throw the whole orange in the blender. I'd try that.
I'm not really seeing anything profound.
Scoop's seal has a leak, but that's not very profound.
No, we need something profound, guys. Rocco, this was a while ago, says, Tony, nobody over YouTube wants to see you wrench on stuff, but it seems to work for Jamie.
I don't show much of that.
Jamie tells a story.
That's it.
There's a difference. Jamie tells a whole story. He's engaging. Jamie's channel is not only about his knowledge, but his personality.
It's storytelling with cars. It's literally what it is.
Yeah, I'm not good at telling that kind of story.
You know what you can do, and I've told you this before, it really impresses me. You can just talk to camera and it makes sense. I can't do that for more than like 30 to 60 seconds. I can't get the words out. I can't do it. I've been doing this 4.5 years. Can't do it.
I forced myself to do it.
It's impressive.
I forced myself to do it, and it was because of Freiberger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because when I started doing YouTube, right? So we've never met. Freiberger and I have never met, but we've had mutual friends and words and stuff said about and towards each other over the years. So there was, I don't want to say I like David. I respect David. But there's a rivalry. Okay.
Sure.
So somebody pointed out when I started doing videos, I was only able to get 1 or 2 sentences out at a time, and then we had to edit. Right.
Yep.
I was terrible. And somebody made the comment that, Freiberger can do these whole long videos out with a single edit. And I was like,
you son of a bitch.
if you can do it, I can do it too. And so
I can't.
Forced myself.
That's great.
Sometimes you need that kind of motivation.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I watch videos that I make afterwards, and I'm like, wow, I'm all over the map. It's hard for me to.
I'd like to take about 45% of my back catalog down because I hate everything about it. The problem is it's like technical videos that are still being viewed daily, and I can't.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
I would take down everything, including today's video.
And start over
from scratch. It's to me, it's all 100% cringeworthy. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe
I don't think it's 100%. Come on, Understanding the Slant 6, pure masterpiece.
See, to me,
masterpiece.
It's cringe. It's 100% cringe.
No.
So yeah, I wish I could start all over again.
We're all our heart. Oh
You
my
don't
gosh,
want to
critics.
start over again. You don't want to start over again.
Take it from Art.
No, you don't want to.
Oof.
I watch videos like I'm not, flipping, right? Like I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna and sit in front of the TV and play with the dogs and flip, right?
Yeah.
And my videos come up, and I'm like, please, what? Go away. And then it says, oh wait, I'm getting paid. Somebody's clicking on that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Do people ever watch and listen to your videos near you? Because people do it to me, and I hate it. I just hate hearing my own voice. It's terrible.
So when we put out a video, I always watch it on the TV.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what, and I'll read
what the viewer sees
off the TV.
Yeah.
So because we click on every one of our videos, now the TV thinks that we're big fans of this channel. And so when any other video ends, our channel comes on, and I have to hear myself going through life, and I'm listening to the friggin' TV in the background. It's weird. This is a weird life.
It is very weird.
I'm grateful for it. You know what I mean? I'm 100% grateful for it. I don't take it for granted at all.
Oh yeah,
it's weird.
That's pretty profound.
What's that?
Oh, all that. What you just said.
How do you like being recognized?
I was in Walmart one day, and I was just talking to my kid in the toy aisle, and a lady, not a man, which is odd because my viewership is 94% male. A lady, middle-aged, turns and says, "I know you. You're that guy from that YouTube channel with the cars. My husband watches your videos all the time."
So she
It's
just
my
heard your
voice.
in the
She heard
background.
my voice. Like my face, I don't really get recognized that way because I'm behind the camera. Like it happens. You see me, but not much.
You have a very recognizable voice.
But my voice. How do I like that? It,
You like me.
you know, I mean, it's nice to be appreciated, I guess, but it's weird. It's really weird. I
What
just
about you,
want to,
Dr. Art?
yeah.
You ever get recognized out there in the world?
I used to more 2 years ago than I do now.
Go because you had the nukish thing.
Yeah, but I mean, even kind of prior to that, but like, yeah, I would go to, you know, grocery stores and places and you know, and whatnots. I mean, I'd be in a dealership and they'd be like, "Oh, you're that YouTube guy."
That's funny. I keep getting recognized by people buying stuff from me on Facebook. That's the big one right now. And going to any car show.
I don't go to car shows. I stay away from car shows.
No, I try not to.
I have Kathy list stuff on Marketplace, and now my neighbor Sean is going to be listing stuff on Marketplace because
Nice.
I don't want to do with any of the stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting to where that's kind of a problem. Like people just message me to say, "I love the show. It's awesome. I watch all your videos." Well, okay, but do you want to buy this tin grill hood? Like,
Yeah, come on, I need the cash. Yeah.
yeah. Was Jamie narrating in the aisle? No, dude, my voice is just like this. People used to say, "Oh, you're putting on an act. Why don't you just talk normal, brother? This is
That's how
my
he
voice."
sounds.
Why do you sound like a TV presenter? Because I miss my calling. What do you want? Like,
I don't think any of us got involved in this business to become famous or anything like that.
no.
It's just a natural thing. It's like, well, I
Drawn
have
to
to
it.
tell people how this works, so I have to show how this works. You know, you want to share what you do, or you want to share what you know, and it just so happens the byproduct of that is that you become known.
A little bit. Yeah.
All right, guys, let us pack it in. It's
Yeah.
late.
It's late.
Um,
It's about that time.
Yes. So Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab with his 275,000 view video. I am so happy for you. You have
I'm
no
impressed.
idea. That's fantastic. You know, Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. Go over there and give him a sub and watch that 275,000 view video.
Yeah, boot it up to 300,000. That would be
Yeah.
Jamie at Dead Dodge Garage, the best Mopar channel in all of YouTube. Go over there and give him a sub and a like and share his rhetoric and propaganda across the land.
Yeah. My goal is global domination, so please help.
Yeah.
My 89-year-old father-in-law loves your channel, sir.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
really?
you,
And
Dr.
it's
Arts.
hilarious for him because every time he sees Dead Dodge Garage come up before the thing, he's like, "Oh, that's funny."
Thank you.
And you guys already know my channel because we're all here.
You
We
should.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's here. Yeah.
Dr. Art does a live every Monday night at 7 o'clock. Jamie does a live every Sunday night beginning at 8 o'clock.
8 your time, middle of your live. Yeah.
Yeah, so halfway through our live on Sunday night, he starts and then he goes for another hour after it. So we do an overlapping live.
Yep. I can always tell when Tony's jumped off.
Yeah, all my guys go over.
Not all of them, but a couple. Yeah.
And then Fubar just put up a link to my merch. Thank you so much, Fubar. And our awesome mods, Mexican Spec, Fubar Zero, the greatest mods on all of YouTube. Did they mod on your channel too? Jamie,
What's it? What now?
did they mod on your channel too?
Sorry, there's family drama happening. No.
No. Well,
I have my own
someday-
in-house mods.
Someday you may earn there.
Ooh.
You know,
Ooh.
keep
I'll
at
do
it.
my best.
Keep
Keep
at
at it.
young fella. And that's it. And everybody contribute super chat. Thank you so much. It's never expected, but always appreciated. And everybody who contributed with your presence in your conversation, I speak for everybody here that we are eternally grateful for you guys clicking on the crap that we put out and giving us the reason to do this stuff and check in and pay for my dogs, orange juice.
Dog food, orange juice. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you all. And on that note, guys, I am going to hit the end stream. Any last words?
Yeah, kill this thing, would you?
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Why? I like to tell them, don't get killed out there.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't get killed out there, guys.
But try.
Right.
It might be fun.